Fellas, let's talk facts. Your belt game can make or break your look. You can have the cleanest fit, but if your belt is cracked, stretched, or sagging, you just killed the vibe. And believe me, women notice. First impressions matter. That's why I'm excited to partner with Anson Belt and Buckle. They completely reimagine how belts should work. No more holes. Anson uses a micro-adjustable track system that gives you the perfect fit every single time. Once you try it, you'll never go back to a regular belt. And here's what sets it apart. One box gives you 3 buckles and 3 straps. That's 9 different combos. More versatility, less clutter. You'll look sharp in every situation. Anson is family owned, backed by a lifetime guarantee. And because they're sponsoring this video, you'll get a free bonus buckle and a strap when you click the link below or scan the QR code. Don't wait. Upgrade your belt game today. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Can y'all hear me? All right. Welcome to the Wednesday show. How's everybody doing?
Chilling.
Y'all good? Y'all doing sign language today? Y'all speaking in Morse code?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
Is it concrete? Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
All right. Sorry about that. I had to reload. Screen was froze. Well, good to see you guys, man. If you're just coming in, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you are catching this on the replay, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe as well. Shout out to the sponsor, Anson Belt and Buckle. That link is pinned to the top of the description. It's in the description, pinned to the top of the chat. Go ahead and get your belt game and level up. I see y'all doing a little interaction, man. What's going on, Christopher Matthews? How you doing? Frank White, Edward Gilberts, Fish on the Fit. Thank you guys for being in attendance. Got that little mix, concrete. What's that? Some water?
Yeah, some water with some little
like some little potion or something.
Nah.
Right. Well, we got a good show, man. Open up. I thought about saving this for Thursday, man, but we got Bo here, so this is like your favorite topic. We're gonna be talking about men are cheering as women lose benefits. The welfare war gets real. That's what we're gonna be discussing. So I put together some clips that I came across on the internet to help give us a little context to help further expand our thoughts when it comes to this conversation. But first, I'm gonna play, and then we're gonna go ahead and react to it and start getting our thoughts. Okay. All right, so there we go. You good, Aish? Okay, did you read that back chat? Okay, yeah, I'm on it. Let me time it right now so I can watch out. You like to wait for the clip and then boom. Now you see me, now you don't. But here we go. Let me go ahead and bring this up. There we go. Now, this is just one perspective. I got some other perspective as well, but I just wanted to start off with this one.
SNAP benefits. Here's why that might save Black families. For decades, welfare rewarded single motherhood. You got more money without a man in the house. This pushed Black fathers out, destroyed the nuclear family. Now, women will have to choose partners who can provide, not the government. No safety net means better vetting, stronger men, stable homes. When survival depends on partnership, you pick better partners. The welfare state broke us. Time to rebuild from strength. not dependency.
All right, kind of get you guys' thoughts about it. So November 1st is right around the corner. From my understanding is that not all benefits are being interrupted, but SNAP benefits. But I've been hearing a lot of conversations about just government assistance, period, how it ties into the nuclear family, how it affects fathers and vice versa. So what are you guys' immediate thoughts just hearing the first video and just in general? I'll go ahead and start with you first, Aisha.
Hey, I wasn't expecting to go first. I agree. I think that it's a crutch. I think that it should be a limit. Like you shouldn't just be able to do it for 20 years. You know what I mean? I think that it also should be set up. It's just the program needs to be. I have so many ideas about this for years. Like they need to revamp how it's set up. It definitely shouldn't go to illegal immigrants. We seen them balling out with food stamps online. You know what I mean? And I agree with him. I think that people use it as a crutch and they abuse it. And I think that the program needs to be revamped and those funds need to be allocated, to the real people who actually do need them. Because I just don't think that I think that that's what it did, and it did when they introduced government assistance, and they were like, you can't have a man living with you. I mean, people still did it, and people still do it. For people like me, people that own buildings, if you have Section 8 tenants, they do it. You know what I mean? But I just think it's a crutch. Like they get on it and they never get off. Why would you? If it's there and you can continue to do it. So I think that it is what it is. I'm not crying about it. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not crying about it. I think that we need to be growing our own food. I think that Black people need to get together like what Master P doing and build production companies. Like my son right now, he going to school for agriculture and farming. I think that's an amazing idea, right? So I think that we need to be looking into things like that and outsourcing and stop trying to lean on other people for things. I mean, I feel like that money that people using our food stamps can be utilized in different ways. Because people be on food stamps for their whole life in Section 8. Like they don't, and I think that it's a crutch. And so we should try to figure out a way around it. And I feel like all of that stuff is owned by the dominant society and they control it. So just like they gave it to us, they can take it away. So you got to be prepared and you got to be ready.
All right, go ahead, Mott. You're saying Sanctus Center discussing his perspective in that video as far as being a celebration, basically, and how eliminating some of these welfare benefits would bring back the family. What are your thoughts?
I don't know about bringing back the family, but I definitely I speak on a welfare perspective first. I agree with what he's saying in terms of I think that government assistance does make you lazy, and it doesn't give you anything to strive for. I'm Black and I'm from the hood, so I know people, a lot of people. I have family members who don't want to do better because the second you start making more money, they take it away from you, and then you're in the same spot. You're in the same spot, you in the same lifestyle. So it's like, why would I work harder and get less benefits to be in the same position, right? So I do believe that it is a crutch, and it kind of keeps you from moving forward. A lot of people who don't feel like they got a certain amount of potential anyway, it just makes it worse, in my opinion. Now, as far as it bringing back the Black family, maybe I hear the perspective like at face value, and I get like how he makes it make sense. I don't know if forcing families to be together makes the most sense. I don't know. I think that's like how like feminism got here, from like women feeling like they was forced to do things, and women feel like they had to make decisions and they had to stay in relationships because of a man has financial power over her versus her choosing to be in that situation. So I don't know. I'll let somebody else go while I'll kind of process what they say. But at a glance, it's kind of like where my mind is going to.
All right, go ahead, Miss Concrete. What are your thoughts, ma'am? But I got to take you off from mute because there was some feedback. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Um, I think that I agree with the young lady was saying. There should be a huge change within like time limit of how long a person or family should get Section 8 or food stamps. So I do think people become very lazy and content because it's easy to not grow. It's easy to just be there. And if they feel like they don't have to change or do much, they're not going to do much, right? Because they don't have any fire up under their bum or whatnot. Um, I think that, I mean, as far as like removing the male from the household, it definitely will make women think, right? Because a man is needed. The woman doesn't have the black man; she's going to the other man to get assistance. So when a woman says she doesn't need a man, it's not true. Um, I think that's my thoughts. So yeah.
Go ahead, Brother Hink.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I don't know if it's going to bring people together, but I think what it will do is maybe have people hesitant to leave maybe their current situation, maybe their current relationship situation. Maybe they'll reevaluate it and realize it may not be as bad as we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It may be worthy enough to sit down and actually have a conversation. Because sometimes that's all some people need to do is just sit down and have a conversation. I mean, an honest, genuine conversation, and then allow each other to get their points of view out instead of cutting each other off and actually listen to each other. That could save a lot of relationships just doing that alone. But unfortunately, a lot of people can't do that. So they'll just break up or run off or leave or get out of a situation or divorce, whatever you want to call it, just on some bull crap. And it's just unfortunate. So now individuals who's been struggling are going to struggle even more for the period of time that I guess the government assistance is going to be cut off. They're going to want to be affected. You're going to see them in the food lines. You're going to see them at the some of these churches. Probably ain't been in churches over 20 years. Last time it was Easter Sunday. The last time they went to church. But now that that government benefits about to get shut off, now they ready to go praise the Lord again, giving thanks. If I was some of these churches, I'd say you're not allowed to get none of this food unless you're members. And I ain't seen you in 10 years. Not with your Easter suit on or your Easter dress or anything. You can't come here and get no food. No. It's for my members. I'm trying to feed my members because they tired, they participating, they involved, and all that. So I would just tell them you need to go down to that food pantry down the street at said maybe at the Urban League or at the Salvation Army or something. We can't do nothing for you. It's for members only. But in totality, I don't see people just all of a sudden just going outside, looking around, picking up the first man they see, a woman picking up the first man, a man picking up the first woman. I don't see them doing that. Not like that. I don't think it's going to be that bad. It may be rough, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. I'll leave it there.
All right. We'll play this other response, and then I'll go ahead and get to Bo and Willie.
Currently grown men making jokes about how 90% of women, if they take away food stamps, Section 8, this, that, and the third, all types of government assistance, 90% of women will fold in a week. Mind you, these are the same men that don't take care of their kids, which is the reason why half of these women are on government assistance. Half of these men don't watch their kids. There's daycare. Half of these men are on child support or don't have a job to pay their child support fucking payments. but they talking about 90% of women will fold if the government shut all their assistance down. I want y'all to know something. The way that y'all want women to not only fall flat on our faces, but y'all want us to fall flat on our faces so it can prove that we need men while y'all still don't be the men that we fucking need. Excuse the stuffy voice, because I am getting a code from the weather change. But my point still remains the fucking same here. Y'all literally, as men, to sit here and say, oh, it would be so funny to watch all the women fold if government assistance got taken away completely. All you're reminding us is, even without the government assistance, y'all still won't do shit. No government assistance means men still won't fucking provide. All y'all gonna do is laugh while we're poor and broke and fucked up like y'all are. Interesting. Y'all just want to see another person fucked up and fucked around so you don't have to feel bad about being fucked up and fucked around. A lot of you men, and again, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Do not get in my comments speaking for all men when half of y'all know about 4 fucking deadbeat daddies. If you're not a deadbeat and you take care of your kids, don't feel fucking triggered. But if you know you don't do enough for your children and to help out your baby mama or your significant other, then bitch, hit dog holler. You feel me? But we're going to be fucking realistic here. Half of y'all are cheering and talking shit about women on government assistance and this, that, and the third because y'all just want to see bitches on their asses. Literally. Y'all just want to see bitches on their asses. And that's so throwed. Because even if we were down on our asses today, we would still have to pick ourselves back up because there would still be no grown-ass men there to do the fucking job that men were supposed to do. Like, what the fuck do y'all want? Y'all want women to just suffer. And I swear to God, that's the sickest shit I've ever seen. So many men wanting women to suffer. But if y'all fat, funky, bald-headed ass mamas was out here fucked up, you'd be in the streets selling dope tomorrow. Crazy how y'all will go crazy for your single mothered ass mother, but we'll talk shit about single mothers to this day. Half of y'all were raised by single mothers, and half of the problems y'all have with single mothers comes from your own funky, fat, fucking ugly mother. God, I hate you niggas. Y'all make life hard. When shit's not rocket science, it's very simple stuff that shouldn't have to be explained. But to hate single mothers, but talk about how your mother was a trooper and she deserves the world from you while also saying other single women and single mothers do not deserve that same luxury when they're in the same fucking situation that your mama was in. But luckily for your mama, government assistance was booming back in her time. Niggas, motherfuckers had townhouses, $1,800 motherfucking townhouses on the cheap ski. Fuck are we talking about? Like, motherfuckers was sitting pretty back in the day when we was kids. Our mamas lived off of government assistance while it was booming. Now government assistance is shit, and we're in a fucking economy that wants us to fucking die. With a Cheeto Puff for a fucking president who wants everyone to act like the fucking Yahtzees. Exactly. So again, to sit here and say that you want to see single mothers fail and fall on their asses is fucking insane. Because your fucking mama should have fell on her ass. But she also already did when she birthed half of y'all. When your mama's birthed you bitch ass motherfuckers, she already failed. Then she kept your punk ass alive long enough to claim she did a good job, but the hoe didn't put nothing in your brain. Crazy fucking work. Y'all irritate me every day.
Okay. Sound like y'all like what she said. Go ahead, Bo.
I imagine that that's what the men think I sound like. Jeez. Okay, this is what I will say. No, this whole, benefits getting cut or whatever is not going to bring Black families back. Now, what it will do, it will force some women to be in relationships with men that they would not otherwise be in relationships with for survival. That's what will happen. Then men will absolutely see what needing them looks like. And I pray that for every single one of you, that think that this is going to bring Black families back together. Now, ideally, sure, why not? I wish that something would, and if this does, great. But we are going to see an uptick in DV, because that is the other side of the sword. There, it's double edged. You'll get women returning to men and depending on men again, but you'll also get those men that are going to treat those women like punching bags. And so we will see an uptick in a whole lot of DV. So I wish that this would be a healthy thing, but it's not going to be altogether healthy for anyone, for men, women, none of that, because men are going to be used more and women are going to be used as punching bags more. So I think we need to be careful what we wish for. Also, we're going to see an uptick in crime. We are going to see an uptick in the prison population, because when you take away people's ability to provide for themselves, especially when you're talking about people on disability being on these benefits, when you're talking about people who can't work, who have a lot of kids. Listen, whether it's their fault or not, I don't know. They here now. We're dealing with what is and not what about isms. But when you're dealing with people who literally cannot make enough money to support themselves, let's not, y'all already talked about the people that abuse the system. Great, fine, whatever. I concede to that. Great. But there are people that absolutely need it. People that are on Section 8 right up the street from me. People who are disabled, who have nothing else. They cannot work. They're on Social Security, Section 8. They get SNAP. They get food stamps. It's a tower of people right up the street from me. They need these benefits. They don't have a choice. They are not single mothers with a whole bunch of children. Let's think about what we're talking about when we're celebrating this. So we have to think about the big picture and not just single mothers going back to men. It's a whole lot more people that are going to be affected. So I think that this is going to be terrible, and it's going to have very little benefit in the face of all of the terrible things that could happen.
All right, go ahead, Willie.
So here's what I see. We need to correct some things that she said that just are categorically untrue. No woman on child support has, not you, the girl in the red. Nobody's on that's getting any type of government assistance has kids by men who aren't on child support. One of the requirements for you to receive SNAP benefits and Section 8 is for you to have at least started or opened a case for those men to take care of their children, because those men are also going to be charged to take care of the Texas Medicaid or whatever the government assisted healthcare provided healthcare that is afforded to you as well. So that's how you know that she's just talking about herself and women like her and the women that are around her, because nobody know if she actually knew people who were doing this or had been in the situation, she would actually understand how this shit works. So all of that aside, limited SNAP benefits is not going to bring families back. It's going to drive down the cost of pussy, and it's going to help fight hoflation. Like, there's nothing about this entire, like, the fact that women are going to have a harder time getting benefits is going to make them want to go stay with the men that they had kids with. The majority of these women are having kids that are accidents, and then they're too stubborn to go have an abortion because they treat these babies like they're little Frenchies or these fashion trend accessory ass dogs. Like, they don't want them, but they treat them like they're some sort of, like, toy. So you can't expect these people to now, okay, well, I can't get SNAP, so now I got to go put my pussy to other use, which is going to be to keep a man, and that's just not how it's going to go. If anything, OnlyFans is going to be an uptake. I do agree that domestic violence is going to be an uptick because, those two things, the rise in sex work seems to correlate with the rise in domestic violence. So they're not doing anything except for really helping men choose to stay single, because now the guys that are going to know these women, only reason why they want to be in a relationship is because they can't afford to be single. So they're all fucking for help. dating for help now, or they're trying to change for being Snap, whatever that program is. It was like Snap Dick, because that's how they know they're gonna be able to survive. They attach themselves to a man.
I got a question for the panel. Do you think some women stop needing men or just stop trusting them?
I don't think women ever stop needing men, and I think a lot of women cope with themselves and say, "Well, I'm this way, and it's every other man's fault for me not being enough to them." So they just cope, and then they trust themselves to be single.
I don't think women need men in relationships because they got men that aren't in relationships with them to pretty much take care of them. So they don't. In this time, in this day and age, we got police officers. So at the end of the day, you can call the cops. You got men out here in the streets who will crash out and risk their life for a random woman. Our infrastructure makes it so that women don't need men. So women don't need men for a relationship, but they damn sure need us in general to live in a society, to live comfortably at least, and to survive for a certain period of time. It just is what it is. But I don't think they need men for relationships because we've just built a society where you don't need that. Like I don't need a woman to be a mom inside of my house because I can get a nanny when I'm not, when I'm not around. Money can fix these problems. So, yeah.
All right, let me get a woman just to answer that question.
So, I don't think it's either. I don't think that it's the trust thing, and I also don't think that women just don't need men. I think that it's a thing of I'm not talking about all men. I'm just talking about those men that fit this description. A lot of times it's more for some women. A lot of times it's more of it's more of a burden to be with you than it is to just be by myself. I have to pick up after a grown person. I don't know. Sometimes it feels like we're your mother, and we shouldn't have to mother a grown person. So I think that could be one of the things that's sort of where I can do bad all by myself comes from, because sometimes you're doing worse in a relationship than you do by yourself. And sometimes you'd rather be in a 1-bedroom apartment eating ramen noodles than be miserable with somebody sitting in the same house as you. So I think that that's one aspect of it. I don't think that that's all of it, though.
You don't think you're just lazy? You don't think that might be it?
What do you mean? If I'm doing it, how am I lazy?
No, you said having a pretty much you called a man like mothering a man for cleaning up after him.
Yeah, if I'm doing it, how am I lazy? If it's getting done, how am I lazy? I shouldn't have to.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, you dislike doing it or you hate doing it to the point that you'll say that you're mothering a man versus just kind of doing him a solid or doing something for him.
So it's not just the cleaning up after. That's just one thing. We have to file paperwork. We have to go and take children to doctor's appointments all by ourselves. We have to, I don't know, we go call people. Who calls the exterminator? Who does the things? I'm talking about a lot of we basically run the entire household, and that's tiring. That's tiring for one person.
Interesting.
So I'm just saying, that's not lazy. That is, nigga, you could help.
So your experience. So women have the experience of being with men who are they making a lot of money and you just doing the house stuff, or they're not making any money and they're also not doing any house stuff.
Exactly.
They're not doing nothing with the kids.
Exactly. Those are the people I'm talking about. I'm not talking about men who make a lot of money and can pay for help, or it makes sense that the woman doesn't have a whole lot to do outside of the house, that she can take care of the inside of the house. I'm talking about working women who have husbands that don't make a whole lot of money and they still have to take care of them hand and foot.
Okay. I want to ask you something. Think about this with an open mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that some of what women are going through is due to them not being able to process their emotions and their feelings properly. So to some degree, right, I can go through a situation with my son, and right, and I can smoothly handle the situation, address it, go through the steps of having to teach him something or address something. Whereas a woman would have gotten extremely frustrated and started raising her voice and doing things like that, and also internalizing the things that the boy is saying. I had an experience with my son where um he was agitating somebody. It was a female. He was agitating her. It was an adult, and I just watched it. I just wanted to study it real quick, right? Just by him, pretty much, he knew that she kept getting frustrated to the extent that he could troll her. And you know how you control somebody with like this plausible deniability where you're like, is he trolling me? Is he not trolling me? I can't necessarily accuse him fully of it because he might be weaponizing incompetence or something like that, right? And I'm just watching it and I'm watching her get frustrated with it. And I'm like, I talk to her and I'm like, you know, if you that's how trolls work, right? People when you can't handle stress well, people will feed off of that. They just want your energy. They literally just want your energy. So when I see women, whether it be his mom or whatever, and I'm like, you know what? You could handle things so much better if you just didn't allow it to stress you, right? And I know it may sound crazy, somebody telling you don't let something stress you out, but if you truly focus on it in a moment, like, I'm not going to allow this to stress me. I'm going to, why do I have to? Why is the boy? Why do the kids keep asking me why? Right? It's like, don't allow that to stress you. Answer the question. Think about it. Process it. Is it valid that they're asking me why? Should I, is this a teaching moment that they want to know why? I've noticed that women tend to get extremely frustrated with things that would not frustrate me because I wouldn't allow it to frustrate me. I would just handle it. I wouldn't internalize it. Stress is not good for you. Stress can kill you over time. So I see that a lot.
And what was the question again?
What do you think about that? Do you think that no, it's just life and it's everything around me, or do you think that sometimes women are just failing or allowing things to penetrate them that maybe they could work on not allowing to penetrate them?
I think it's a little bit of both. There's truth in both of those. Because I'm guilty of it too. It takes me probably 2 interactions to be like, why am I letting this upset me? And then I'll calm myself down. So it's truth in both of those for sure.
Okay.
Dope, you allow your son to antagonize a grown adult. That's disrespectful. You don't think? You just
I
sit
felt
back and
like
watched it happen?
Yeah, so I felt like it was more important. So both of them are wrong, right? It's wrong for him to antagonize an adult, right? Even if he's weaponizing incompetence. That's something that I talked to him about. But at the same time, I think that no adult should ever allow a child to play with their mind, right? They should never allow they should never you should never get in the mud with a pig, right? That's just something that I believe in. And if I'm watching somebody allow a child to disturb their mental space, I think that that's worth addressing also. I think that's a teaching moment for both individuals in that space, if that makes sense.
It don't.
Okay.
Because there's no way I will allow my son to sit there antagonize and disrespect an adult right there in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't go over and put my hands on him and snatch him up by his neck and have a conversation. No. I don't play that disrespect stuff. And especially if even if it's my ex-wife, which is his mother, I wouldn't let them do that. Now, there's no way I would do that because a lesson needs to be taught. Because guess what? When you're not around, he's going to do it again. Yeah. And then what? Now he's going to get in trouble at school or outside in the world or whatever the case may be because he thought it was funny, thought it was okay. My dad didn't really say that. He said something, but it wasn't to the point where I feel like I couldn't get away with trying to do it again. No, that's disrespect. We got to do better than that, especially for our own kids. A lot of issues what we have now because a lot of people don't address the kids. You can't talk to somebody's kids because they feel like you out of order. Don't talk to my son. Don't talk to my child. You ain't his daddy. Yeah, some bullshit. Maybe that's your problem. You need to go get his goddamn daddy, have a talk with him, and stop being like real dope and let the shit slide. You can't do that. So,
Yeah.
a couple things were said that's
Oh no,
crazy.
you can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta let
I
me
can't.
respond.
I will go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So where I disagree with you, right, is that for one, I never said I didn't address it. I said I let it, I watched it play out. There's a lot of situations that you should watch play out with your kids before you just interject, in my opinion. And it's a lot of situations that you should watch out. You should let play out to see how other people are going to respond to it. I teach kids and I teach adults, right? I can see you going through something or you dealing with something, like his mom, and I can say, yo, this is how you handle this situation. I saw how you handled it, and this is how I think that you should actually handle it. This is what you did wrong, and this is what you can do better. I never said I didn't address my son. My son always gonna be, whenever he got an issue, I'm gonna get him right. But at the same time, I won't personally miss the opportunity to teach everybody in the situation. Now you may not. You may just go like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You may do your thing where you hoot and holler, right? But not me. I'm much more tactical when it comes to certain things. So I agree that you should always make sure that your kids is doing what they got to do. But at the same time, adults need to be equipped with these skills. The same way that I was just talking about, like, hey, is this something that you could do better? And she said, yeah, that's something that I struggle with sometimes too. The same thing. Everybody getting taught. I can teach you. Everybody. I don't matter. But go ahead. You can finish.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. So part of the problem with you sitting there watching them do these things, and then what if it goes left before you get the opportunity to address it? Then what? What if you're not around and this stuff happens? So now you got a different problem.
So when you say goes left, what do you mean by go? Like, so I don't know if you think my son's not bad. It's just like a thing where a child may be talking to somebody else and maybe doing a little bit too much, as far as they may have to tell them to do something too many times or one too many times than they should have, versus going, I don't know if you think going left like he going to do something crazy. My kids, they behave.
No, he means going left like you watching your son antagonize that man, and then that man slapped the shit out your little boy.
Oh no, yeah, no. My kids is respectful. Like, it's not like no thing where they call somebody out the name. It's like it's a thing where like, yo, no. It's a thing where it's like, yo,
what you just described.
And let's make sure we share the mic too, y'all. So make sure y'all go ahead and finish up.
Oh, yeah.
What you just described is not
before. But I want to give you an example. Because you're saying, oh, it might go left. Like I said, if it's a situation where somebody's like, yo, you should be doing, or go to timeout, and the person's in timeout, and then they're like, they start making noise, and they're like, hey, you shouldn't be making noise in timeout, and then they start touching something on the wall, and they're like, hey, don't touch something on the wall in timeout, and then they're like, okay, I won't touch nothing on the wall, and then they start doing, things like that. You talking about going left like it's something I'm talking about kid stuff. I'm not talking about, oh, fuck you, bitch. Like, type. I ain't talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about little small kid things where you can tell a kid is trying to antagonize. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. Do y'all understand that? Or
yeah, I understand exactly. So you saying nobody's kid's bad? Let them tell it. Everybody got good kids. Nobody kid get in trouble. Nobody kid does dumb shit. Nobody kid does nothing wrong. I understand. We all think this until Johnny's at school doing that bullshit what you just described, and like I said, it goes left. So if you dealing with kids, I was a substitute teacher for about 5 years, and I dealt with little kids. What you talking about? He'll do one thing, he'll stop doing that, but do something else. So now he's being a distraction. That's bad. That's not good. So now I got to take my attention off of these 29 other kids to handle Lamont. Lamont, why the hell are you doing this, man? Come on, buddy. I don't need this. Now, if you keep doing this, I'm going to call your mother. I'm going to call your father. I'm going to call your parents. I'm going to send you down to the office. Is that what you want? Nah, but it continue to do little stuff. So what are you supposed to do? Just stop what you're doing? Just focus all your attention? Now I'm taking away from these other children. Now, I'm not saying that what the situation, what you was talking about, but if you come across a problem, you got to address it. As a parent, you shouldn't have to tell your kids 3 to 4 times to do something. That's a problem. They already have little to no respect for you right then, because they don't take you serious. Because what had happened, you told them once, you told them twice, never follow through. You told them, if you don't do this, I'm going to take your phone. But you never took their phone. So now they don't even listen to you. They daddy just talking. He ain't gonna do it. He say he gonna do it, but he really ain't. Because you don't follow through with what you say. So now that becomes a problem. Guess what? He grows up, he gonna continue to do that in the world. It starts at home. But we get totally off the subject with this, but go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, yeah, let me check with Concrete. So you've been hearing some dialogues going on. You want to add anything to the convo? Hold on, let me take you off of mute. Where are you at? All right, there you go.
I want to ask the gentleman in the red hat. I want to make sure I understood what you stated. You said that if your child was there, a child antagonizing an adult, you're going to sit back and watch your child antagonize adults for rather it's 3, 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then you're going to interject and teach both parties, your child and the adult that the child was antagonizing, how to conduct themselves in a situation. Am I understanding this correctly?
Yeah, you're saying that completely correctly. Now, this is the thing. Hold on. You gotta. So we have to open up our minds when we're having conversations. Okay. I don't feel like I should have to tell you guys that we're all adults and we're engaging in this conversation together.
Continue.
And when I say now, I think you're maybe thinking about a stranger or something like that, like an adult that's a stranger versus an adult who I actually know, like his aunt, his mom, somebody like that. Completely different, right? And a stranger, like I don't know this person. Like my son, I'm gonna make sure he's acting right? Versus a situation where I see as a teaching moment of, okay, you're dealing with, whether it be, let's say it's his mom, okay, you need to learn how to deal with our son as well as I do. Now I can come and I can fix the problem every single time. However, if I see that there is something lacking in the way that you're conducting yourself with him, it's a teaching moment for the both of you, right? My son, I can snap my fingers, he good, right? At the same time, that doesn't mean that that other individual who's an adult should not be equipped with the skills to deal with this situation. And furthermore, not even just that, these things extrapolate into life. If you're allowing a kid to stress you out, I know that you're allowing a lot of other things in life to stress you out. And I think that it's reasonable to teach you about stress and how you shouldn't allow things to stress you out, because it can kill you. And I think it kills a lot of women. I think it takes a lot of years off of your life when you allow things to stress you out, if that makes sense.
I'm trying to understand your bubble, and your bubble is your truth, which is your perception, which is fair. However, me standing outside that bubble and hearing what you're saying is absolutely diabolical. If my son, who is 12, and had the audacity to be in an adult's face and antagonize an adult, he's automatically out of pocket. I
don't know if you heard the example that I gave.
Hold on, you gotta let her finish, Mike.
No, real quick, just point of information.
So
I don't know if you heard the example that I gave, but you just said in an adult's face antagonizing him. So I gave an example of timeout.
My, just let her finish.
Yeah, okay.
So rather it's blood relation, associate relation, no relation, right? The point is that my son is challenging an adult, okay? Therefore, my son does not know his place. Okay, and my son knows, and he will be squared away immediately, right? And then the adult would have never been upset for whatever reason had my child not did what he did, which is my responsibility, and I would take full accountability because he is my child. Yeah, that to me, I don't know. Yeah, that child simply does not understand. When I was a kid, my mother said, "You stay out of grown folks' business. You do not talk in a grown folks' face unless they are talking to you, right? Family wise, whatever." I personally am very old school. There is no way that my child would ever step to an adult and antagonize an adult at all. Yeah, I don't know. To each his own, you know.
This is where I don't think you're hearing me. The words that you're using, step to an adult and antagonize an adult, versus I thought I gave an example for you guys to kind of understand that. Like I gave you a timeout example of, oh, he's the timeout. Oh, he's moving around too much. Oh, you tell him to not do one thing. Okay, now he does something else that's technically different than what you what you told him not to do. I'm not saying like get in some adult's face. That's crazy. To some degree, if you understand children, you understand what traits are just a kid being a kid, right? And a lot of adults can allow that to seep inside of their spirit And you know, like a lot of women get attitudes. They'll get that for like different things in the environment. I'm just,
I
I feel like
understand what you're saying, but an adult's reaction to a kid's behavior doesn't mean that adult is stressed out. So if my 7-year-old daughter comes in here and does something antagonizing to me, because little girls they will antagonize you, right? That's not stressing me out because I yelled at her or because I simply just said sit down. You're basing the adult's reaction and saying because this adult reacted that way, they shouldn't have reacted that way, in your opinion. So if you ever came to me as an adult and tried to tell me how to react in a situation of something that your child did to me that would be a problem. I would probably look at you like you were insane. Because if your child is antagonizing me, it's not your job to teach me how to respond to that. I don't need you to do that. Like is everybody okay? I don't need you to do that. I need you to take care of your child and make sure that your child's behavior is intact. That's it. That's all. I don't need you to say anything to me or tell me how I should respond. You can't tell anybody how to be emotionally regulated. And I think that you sit on this panel and do that often. You can't do that. Just because you feel like you're in tune with your emotions and somehow women aren't, doesn't mean that you have the capability to fix that or to tell us how to respond to situations. You should just worry about your child's behavior because that's the main focus. Because anything, like she said, her son is 12. Your child is younger. I'm going to tell you like my mama told me. You still as a child, you still as an adult. You lie as a child, you lie as an adult. You're giving him too much leadway, buddy. What he did, it's not a teachable moment. Stop doing what you're doing.
Period.
Yeah, I completely disagree with the point of. Oh, go ahead, Bo. Go ahead.
So I get what everybody's saying. I see it from both sides. I completely understand. But I have to say though, you don't know what your children are doing outside of your presence. Children antagonize everyone outside of your presence. When you tell children don't do this and don't do that, and you leave it at that, and they don't even know why, they don't know what will happen, they don't know anything, because a lot of this cut that off is don't do it, you shouldn't do it, don't disrespect adults, but they don't know the full picture of why. And I can understand why he wants to monitor that situation, because if your child is doing that in front of you, imagine what they're doing outside of your presence. And you need to watch them and how they interact with people and what they are doing with people, because you need to be able to guide them. You need to understand what they do to people. And then and only then you can explain to them why that is wrong, why they shouldn't do it. They get the reaction from the other person. And now you can explain why that person has that reaction and why they shouldn't do it. I feel like that is valuable. I think what he's doing is extremely valuable. And children are children. I think that we're not thinking about this. Children are going to do the things. They don't have to be bad. They're not antagonizing maliciously. It's just what they do. And you need to be thankful that they would do it in front of you instead of behind your back, because we know a lot of things can happen. A lot of things happen to us behind our parents' backs. We did a lot of things that we weren't supposed to do. So it's beneficial to watch that and address it that way, because that means that you're guiding them the right way, because now you can understand exactly what they do and how they do the things, exactly what it looks like, instead of an adult being like, your child did this. That adult could be lying. We don't know. The adult could be telling the truth. But you get to see it with your own eyes and actually address the situation with the adult and the child. I think it's beneficial. I don't think anybody is wrong. I'm just pointing out, I think that it's beneficial as well how mine is doing it.
Yeah.
So how long are y'all supposed to sit back and monitor this antagonizing of a grown person supposed to go on before I step in? How long does that happen? What's the time? Is it like a 2 to 3? Hold on. Now, nobody interrupt. I didn't interrupt nobody. Is it supposed to be like a 5-minute intervals of watching your son at the goddamn food, making silly faces, poking at the adult, saying silly shit to. How long does it supposed to go down before you intervene?
It's up to you. You the dad. It's up to you.
Okay. So it could be a 10-minute go down just for 10 minutes, and you okay with that?
It could be 30 seconds. It's up to you.
Okay. That sounds crazy.
All right, let's go ahead and get that. Go ahead, Dad.
But real quick, I wanted to just real quick with what Aisha said. Aisha said that I can't tell people how they should respond to things. I absolutely disagree with her. I absolutely feel like I can tell you how you should respond to things and how you shouldn't respond to things. I think that there's objectivity there to some degree of how we know people shouldn't respond to things, right? You can break the law by responding to things how you choose to respond to something, but that's a radical example. But I absolutely can tell somebody when they're overreacting. You know, you may not agree, but you're a woman to me. I can absolutely coach you and tell you what you should be doing in certain situations. We may have different worldviews. Bo, close your ears. We may have different worldviews, but that's
you absolutely can't tell me how I can respond to anything. You don't know me.
No, I can tell you. You don't got to do it.
You can't tell me how to respond.
I can tell you right now.
You can't tell me how to emotionally regulate. When you do tell me, it's going to go in one ear and out the other. Because you are nothing to me. You're not a scholar. You're nobody that I would ever take that type of reverence from. You can't tell anyone how to emotionally regulate, especially someone you don't know. That's a little. I don't even know what it's giving. It's you know what I'm saying. It's weird. You could never do that. And I don't know who told you could. Maybe your followers. You can't do that. I disagree wholeheartedly. That's something you could never do.
Yeah, this is why I don't
have emotionally. I mean, are you a therapist? Are you a doctor? Like, is that what you do? You see patients? I'm just trying to figure out like how you can tell someone how to respond to something that someone does to them. That's impossible.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to insult you, right? But this is when you say things like this, you don't sound like an intelligent person.
I'm a very intelligent person. I have 2 degrees. So I don't have an unintelligent bone in my body. You can't tell me how to respond or how to regulate my emotions. That's for me to do. I'm in control of how I regulate my emotions, not another person. I'm sorry if you thought that.
You don't even sound like you could tell your own son.
Maybe you can do that.
Well, you doing it. You can't even tell your own son what.
Ain't cut it out.
You can't.
Ain't cut it out.
That's what it sounds like.
But that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. You could never tell me nothing.
You gonna tell another adult this?
No,
this is crazy, dog.
Ain't cut it out. All right.
I mean, to an extent, if it's his wife and his son is in his, like he said, if it's his wife, I'm gonna give you an example. If it's his wife and his son is acting out, and he's sitting there watching the son act out, and like he said, every time he snaps his fingers, the son get on his P's and Q's. But when his wife does it, he continues to act out and antagonize. So what he's saying he's doing, from what I'm gathering, is he's telling her how she shouldn't get upset in that moment and how she should figure out a way so when she snaps her fingers, he responds the same way. Isn't that what you're saying, Mark?
No.
Oh, well, shit, I'm lost.
But back to what I was saying. Sorry.
I feel like that's what he was saying.
Can I get in here real quick?
Go ahead, Dad.
You cut. Go ahead and you cut me off.
Well, because originally Lapeef gave me the floor, but then I let you take it. But
no, I get
originally
it. But she done took my damn turn. I'm sorry. I'll just be.
No, y'all both took my turn. That's where you.
That's a fact, Dad. Talk your shit.
I'm sorry. I feel like it's fair if somebody says something.
Hold on, give him. Just give him 1 minute.
No, I was being funny. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Back to what I was saying. When you say stuff like that, you don't sound like an intelligent person, right? And then when you also say that you got degrees and that makes you intelligent, I don't think you understand what intelligence is. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. But
I don't think that you know what emotional intelligence is, but that's neither here nor there. So
I'm just talking about intelligence in general. Let me finish real quick. But to say that your degrees equal intelligence, that doesn't even correlate.
They absolutely do, because that's what they grade you on when you go to school. Do they not?
They don't grade you on intelligence. They grade you on answering the questions and memorizing the questions and memorizing.
Have you been to college? They don't grade you on.
I've never been to college.
Okay, well here we are.
Here we are. Smarter than me, but I'm telling you, you're not more intelligent.
You're not qualified to have these conversations. Everybody doesn't need a mic.
So you keep cutting me off. I just like to finish, please. I just like to finish because Like
You're
it's
not
like I try to get
qualified
my
to
point
have this
across, and then we start having the
conversation.
conversation.
You're one of those guys that have a mic
No,
that should
no.
not have
I'd like to
have
finish
one.
my
And
point.
you
Is that
think
okay?
because you talk like this
I
and
like to
you
have
have
an
a
intelligent
soft
conversation
tone,
with you, but
that
you
we
keep
are
cutting me
going
off.
to
And
understand
when you
you.
guys told me I was cutting you off, I stopped.
I'm sorry. Here you go, Mike. You got it.
Thank you. Thank you. So to tell someone that since you're not a therapist, that you can't tell somebody that they can better emotionally regulate themselves, that's ridiculous, right? You can ask anybody, you can ask any therapist that, I'm positive they'll tell you, oh no, a normal person can see you behaving in a way that they know that you can probably behave better, and they can help you, tell you, well, maybe you could have did this better. You might have a friend who can tell you you could have did something better. But the idea, this argument of authority of like, you're not a therapist, so, or you're not a doctor. How you gonna tell me I shouldn't take a COVID vaccine? Like, that's not an intelligent thing to say. It's not an intelligent position to have, if that makes sense. But you think that your degrees make you intelligent. I'm telling you, your degrees don't make you intelligent, and it's not going to make you more money than me. It's not going to do either. Neither of these things will ever be true. That your degrees will do either one of those things. It won't.
You sound bitter, but go ahead.
Bitter. What would I be bitter? Possibly bitter about?
But here's
tell me
the
one
thing.
thing about
What
my
you
life that I
said,
could be bitter
what
about.
did you say does not make sense.
Just
What I'm saying is you're not
disrespect God's time,
qualified to make a sound judgment on somebody's emotions who you don't know. That's just how I feel, right? To each his own. To me, you're not. If you're not qualified. You're not even a friend. That's what I said. You're not even a person that could come and say to me personally that I could have handled anything better. That's just my opinion. Like if you came up to me, if your son was antagonizing me and you came up to me and told me I should handle the situation better, I probably would just look at you just like this and walk away. And that would have been the end of that. Because I probably wouldn't have did anything to your child. I mean, what do you do to someone else's kid? You know, you just kind of say and walk away. I wouldn't do anything to anybody's kid. But I think that you should also discipline your child. I think that should be the focus and not regulating another adult's emotions. I mean, I feel like the focus should be on the kid's behavior and stopping it. That's just my personal opinion, and not trying to regulate the adult's behavior.
Everybody
I feel like you're actually torturing the adult by doing that. So
everybody can do better. Everybody can.
Go ahead, Di. You can go.
I forgot.
All right, I'm gonna play this clip. We can further this discussion. You good, Concrete? Good, Bo? Willie?
Concrete had to come up out her sweater.
Di, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I apologize. I had to get in there and respond to somebody, but I apologize for doing it.
I actually was trying to have your back, but I forgot what I was going to say.
You know,
I was actually, I kind of agree. Well, I disagree to an extent, but I just say what I disagreed about because I can't remember what the part I agreed about. I do disagree because it's too many kids in these schools that are not comfortable enough calling a parent when they get into issues, right? They feel like they have to go in there, handle it themselves. I don't feel like enough parents are involved. That's what I was going to say. But and to what Real Dope is saying, my daughter, as she was growing up, she's 12 now, so I don't have these issues. But when she was in her younger ages, I think like he was describing, she used to like when I tell her to clean her room, doing certain stuff, she would do it. But when my grandmother would tell her, she would not listen. So I had to observe why wasn't she listening to her? She would listen to her teachers, she would listen to everybody else, but she wouldn't listen to my grandma. Then I would look at what my grandma would do. I would be like, Demaya, go clean your room. My grandma would go in there and sneak and clean the room for her. I'd be like, Demaya, do this, do that. Or I'll grandma be like, okay, I want Demaya to help me cook today. I said, Demaya, go in there and help her cook. Demaya throws an attitude. She's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. So I felt like whenever we was here at my grandmother's house, my grandmother would go against what I say, which in turns make my daughter have a lack of discipline. So then it got to the point where it's like, okay, grandma, you got to take accountability for this. Like, she's not cleaning her room when you tell her to clean her room, because every time I tell her to clean her room, you go in there and do it for me. She's not doing this because you're doing it for her. So it got to the point where my grandma, like, I had to take a step back because I'm like, if you're not going to enforce things, then I'm not going to say anything. So it got to the point I wasn't saying nothing. She would get frustrated. And eventually, like, she followed, the way because I raised her, you know what I'm saying? But far as antagonizing, that word there, I dealt with a kid like that once and the mother was not saying nothing. And I can say, coming from the adult's point of, like, coming from the adult that's being antagonized, it's very frustrating. I wish the mother would have stepped in. But Dope, I get what you're saying to some extent, but as a general rule, to let your kids do that with an adult, I don't agree with it. Maybe at a certain age, I don't know, but you got to make sure you know that adult too. That was it.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this video that Willie sent me.
Mean? Who ain't getting that damn food stamps in damn November? Cause I'm getting my damn.
If I see people stealing out the store because y'all turned off food stamps, WIC, all the good resources that people use, whoop-de-doo.
Whatever day that's gonna be, just say, yeah, just the day we stealing the stuff is this. Just drop it down there low and let me know. I'll be right there.
I will be at Walmart with my steel toes on and my helmet, and I dare a try to stop me from walking out that store with my groceries.
These people have to feed themselves and their kids. And it's easy for people to say, hey, go get a job. But what about the people that's furloughed?
For the people talking about, oh, go get a job. First of all, not everybody is mentally capable of working a 9-to-5. Not everybody is in the health condition to work a 9-to-5. Not every mother wants to work and raise her kids.
When the food stamps get cut, what do you think gonna happen? When people cannot feed their kids, what do you think gonna happen?
Okay, so let me first start by saying that what we are seeing in those videos is what socialism looks like in the real world, from each according to their ability to each according to their need, which sounds like a good slogan to a lot of people. The question is, who is in need? Are they people who are genuinely in need, or are they people who choose to be in need, who choose not to work? And this to me is why the whole rise of Zohran Mamdani there in New York is quite troubling to me.
Anyway, guys, we're here with the next mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani.
The fact that people are hanging on his every word with chronic amnesia, acting as if socialism is new, forgetting all the atrocities that it caused across the 20th century, and the kind of entitled looter mindset that we see in these videos. Socialism will never work because you essentially have to rewire man in order to make it work. You have to make hardworking people okay with the fact that there are freeloaders among us who won't work, who won't do their so-called fair share, but will get an equal portion of the rations. This is why it's amazing to me that according to a 2019 study conducted by Cato Institute, over 60% of so-called blacks had a favorable view of socialism, and a not insignificant percentage of other ethnicities also had a high view of socialism. This speaks to how susceptible a troubling portion of Americans are to such a nation-ending ideology. And before some of you act on your impulse to blame all of this on the Democrats, let me just remind you this is actually a bipartisan issue. Richard Nixon supported a universal basic income and some of these welfare policies himself. While it is true that Democrat President LBJ intensified the welfare state, Martin Luther King didn't believe that it went far enough, which is why he presided over something called the Poor People's Campaign, which he hoped would go even further than LBJ's war on poverty. Martin Luther King was a huge self-admitted socialist, and it was Ronald Reagan, a Republican president, who signed the bill that made Martin Luther King Day a national holiday. Herbert Walker Bush, Republican, Clinton, Democrat, George W. Bush, Republican, Obama, Democrat, all did things to advance the socialist cause in America.
Sometimes you talk about welfare cuts, and that if you don't vote, somebody's going to cut your welfare.
And so when I see those videos, none of this is actually surprising to me. And it's also not surprising to me that so-called blacks have a higher view of socialism than any other ethnic group, because for the majority of the 20th century, the civil rights movement, which was socialist, was focused primarily on so-called black people who actually had a better cultural ethos before the civil rights movement.
Go ahead, Willie. I know you sent me this video. What were your thoughts?
He took the time to say what I think, so I appreciate that. But for the people in those videos, I mean, stereotypes don't write themselves, but we definitely have a good way of perpetuating them. Everything, she got a softball helmet and some steel-toe boots, and she's happy about going to go steal groceries. Like, mind you, I have a vested interest in Section 8. Most of you guys know that. So that aside, I am very, 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 very tired of people perpetually being on government assistance, like the legacy government assistance where you can pass it down to your kids and your kids can pass it down to their kids, automatically qualifying for SNAP because your parents were on it. All of those things. there's no good that comes from that other than people being able to eat shit food, stay fat, and not do better for themselves. People on these programs, like, they have no responsibility or even make effort to do better. And then a lot of them are having more children while they're on Section 8. Like, you shouldn't be able to reproduce. If there was a change I'd make to the program is you have to be on birth control of some permanent kind while you're on government assistance, because there is no way that you being on government assistance and having more children that you can't afford and then placing that on taxpayers should be logical or fair or deemed normal or permitted in our society. Like, I'm the most anti-socialism or socialistic person I think that you guys will come across in these spaces. But the fact remains, look at the people who are having these conversations and making this content. That's not going to make people feel bad for them. It's going to make the people who actually come out here and work for a living, who do what it takes to be self-sufficient, who do what it takes to work a job, be functional adults. It's going to make us even more sick of y'all or these people. So Buddy cooked it in the video. He said to each according to their need, ability to each according to their need. And it's just, people think they should have their needs met and arbitrarily not have to do shit to earn those. So I'm a vehement opponent of that mindset and logic.
What's going on, Shanice? I know you just came in. You see the topic at the bottom right there. The men are cheering. Moving these benefits. November 1st is right around the corner. What are your thoughts about everything that's been going on surrounding that?
Hey y'all, I'm sorry, I just got off the I just came from the airport, so my mind is everywhere. I think that men cheering for that, I mean, men gonna be men. Is always gonna be something negative about women when it comes down to this. Now, the benefits have been abused, right? Women has been known for abusing these benefits, but they're still benefits. The world is so like chaotic and cruel. Any lick is a good lick. That's the way I look at it. Now, I ain't got a chance. I applied for it before I got denied, but anybody who get it, it's a blessing. Anything free is a blessing. That's the way I take it. That's all I got, y'all. I'm trying to get my head together.
Okay. Hit that lick.
Hit that lick. Hey, everybody, especially Will.
What's going on? I seen you kind of making some faces. What were you thinking?
You said me?
Aisha.
Oh.
I mean, I just agree with the panel. I think that it's the program.
I thought you listened to what Shanice was saying. You didn't hear what she said? No, you
didn't. I don't think people should just be like, get your money because it's free. I think that it's a crutch. I think that if you need it, then it should be there for you to use. But it should be a cap and it should be a limit. This is what we gotta work every day, right? This is what our tax dollars go to. So we should be able to choose. People shouldn't, like he said, I never even heard of legacy, but apparently you can pass food stamps down. I ain't even ever heard of nothing like that. That's insane to me. Like, especially because I just bought groceries 2 days ago. You know what I mean? Like, and the cost of food is insane. And I never understood like why they get to sit at home and collect government assistance, yet I gotta go to work every day and buy these groceries with my cash money. Why they not passing it? When I was in the military, we got a food allowance just for going to work. Why they can't give it to people that go to work every day? Like, you go to work every day, you have 4 kids. Here is some money to help you and your kids out. Thank you for contributing to society. A food allowance. Like, reward the people that's actually out here working. You know what I mean? Motivate them to start working, because they're not going to work if they get free food. I was mad the other day when I was in Tony's Market. The lady had a basket full of seafood when I got up there, and she paid for all of that lobster with food. I I was upset. I ain't gonna even hold you. I was mad. She got them crab legs and stuff, and it was a lot. And she pulled out that card, and I said, "Well, damn, they ain't even want to give me no food stamp, you know." And I go to work every day, so I just think it needs to be a cap. It needs to be a limit. They need to, revamp it. They need to go to the drawing table and come back up with a system where, like, you can't be legacy, like Willie stated. You need to have some other type of income coming in. You can't just be nothing. You know what I mean? And it needs to be like it needs to be revamped. People shouldn't just be getting over. You look at it as like get your money, but in reality, it's our money. We the ones working every day and paying taxes. So really, we paying for their food stamps.
If you get any type of government assistance, you should be drug tested and again not be able to reproduce until you were in a position where you can afford to eat.
Y'all, wow.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take
Y'all,
it that
wow.
far.
It's
I wasn't
like,
gonna
oh
take
my
it that far.
God.
He's like, don't even have kids. Don't even
No,
have kids.
I'm not. Wait. To be clear, I'm not saying don't have children. I'm saying don't have any more children. If you get on food stamps with 4 kids, there's no reason for you to be at kid number 9 asking for more food stamps. That's just irresponsible. Like you already got 4 kids in a 3-bedroom house, packed up like some Mexicans in a Toyota Corolla, and now you want to have more kids for somebody else to take care of. Like I don't understand why that's not default common sense.
So I want to ask. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just don't get how that's not like a. I know if you're thinking like, mind you, I'm the guy that's like, I'm in the middle as far as being on the left and right. But like, I agree with women should be able to have abortions, but I don't like Democrats because they want to cut kids' private parts off, and if you don't let them, they can put the parents in jail. So they lost me. But what I am also vehemently against is that people having children and reproducing on somebody else's dime. It's no different than me going to go have 4 kids, me getting on food stamps with 4 kids, and then getting 3 more, and then having Concrete pay for them. Like she's taking money out of her pocket to come pay for my kids that she didn't birth, that she doesn't know, she's never seen, or that she didn't have at least the pleasure of meeting. And it's unfair for people to like try to glance past that part, because what we also can see is that people, the most fertile group of people are those on government assistance. So if you look at, and to our benefit, the majority of people on this are white, even though they make up 83% of the population or whatever it is. They're having the most children. It's not the people like Aisha, Shanice, Concrete, Bo that went to school, did what they're supposed to do, and they not having a bunch of babies. It's the girls who are having. It's the people who are having kids who can't fucking afford them because they know that if I have more kids, I get more money. That's the part that's unfair to me, and that's the part that I have a vested interest in. But I mean, I don't want to tell anybody what to do with your coochie, but fellas, if she's on government assistance, you shouldn't be fucking her.
Go ahead, Bo.
I got. Oh, go ahead.
And I'm coming to you next, Shanice. Go ahead, Bo.
I low key concur with that. Y'all got to do better out here, fellas.
I think that the thinking about this, the conversation about this is really shallow. We are focusing in on people who do not make up the majority of people on government assistance. We have over a third of our population, our entire population in this country, that depend on this, that cannot work. There is no other option for them other than government assistance. And we're cutting them off because you're mad at people getting seafood at the grocery store. There should be rules in place to stop these things. I agree with Willie even. If you on government assistance, you should not be having no more babies. Because, unless you're a family, because they didn't say don't have the fathers in the home. I heard that before. They said do not have unwed fathers in the home, single fathers in the home. They didn't want them in there, but families, gladly, if you met the requirements. So I think people pick the talking points that social media puts out there. Nobody ever does any type of reading or research. They don't they don't think about the long-term effects. They don't think about the bigger picture of government assistance. I think that we'll do well. One, I disagree with Willie on the socialist thing. Socialist countries are some of the most successful ones. So, but I don't think that the United States is at a point where they would accept it because they won't even tax the rich. So we can't have socialist programs because we can't afford it, because we, as the 90%, cannot afford to support everyone. It's going to take taxing the rich to do it. But you all want to focus on who's getting seafood in the grocery store and not these rich people going to buy yachts with y'all money, but they're not paying y'all. I can't understand how y'all are letting the 1% and the 10% get away with murder, literally, and you all are mad at baby mamas over here enjoying
No, we
a
mad
night
at
of
them too.
passion.
We're educated
Like,
on that, and
I
we're
don't know why
mad
you're
at them
doing
too.
that, because I
We've
didn't
been
interrupt
speaking to it
anyone.
the
I
whole
really
time.
waited
Hold
on
on,
you
Ish. Hold on, Ish.
to
Hold
talk.
on.
I don't know why we have to speak while I'm speaking, because I didn't do that. But I want you all to focus on the task at hand. The people literally getting away with using the most government assistance is the 10% and especially the 1%. Especially the 1%. But some kind of way we got to focus on baby mamas. Y'all, the goal is to get the entire country stable, and that is going to take taxing the rich.
To JR, if you don't mind, can I put like Mont said, 2 points of clarification? One, rich people pay more the top 10% pay more taxes than the bottom 90%, if you look at it dollar for dollar. And then two, another thing is that you said about, we're talking about baby mamas. That's not what this is about. And it's not we're not talking, when I say this, I'm not just talking about black women. I'm talking about women on government assistance of all shades: pink, white, purple, green, polka dot, and brown. Everybody in between this applies to. Now, in our community, we champion it. We're the community that makes, it's sexy. It's cool to have food stamps. It's that ratchet culture that we embrace. But again, our culture does tend to embrace a lot of the degenerate things that about our society, and we champion those things, for one reason or another. But for us to saying we're not focused on the baby mamas, we're focused on the fact that the people on Section 8 are not trying to do better for themselves because they're already doing. They're already getting by. So there's no incentive for them to get off, because if they got off, it will require them to work to do better. And nobody is willing. The majority of these people, not going to say all, do not want to get better or do better for themselves.
So I wasn't disagreeing with most of what you said, Willie. I don't disagree with that. Like, dollar for dollar, sure, but they have a lower tax rate than we do, is what I'm saying. They could be paying more.
So question, right? So I'm in the 57% tax bracket for earned income.
Mm-hmm.
How do I have a lower tax obligation than you do? Or not you, but someone who is in a lower tax bracket.
I'm really talking about the 1%. That's why I kept saying especially the 1%. I'm talking about those people.
Once you cross 250, it's 52, 57%. It's standard. It's not like
but they
250 to a million to 10 million. Now they do get tax breaks because most of these people own businesses. So and they do get breaks for those things, right? But that's part of owning a business that anybody can do. So it's not because they're rich, it's because of how they've gotten rich that they have these abilities. I mean, they have these brackets. They have these tax breaks. The thing is, again, being in the stratosphere of those earners, my tax obligation is going to be higher than yours if you only make $240,000 or $246,000, because you'll pay a lower tax because you're not in the top tax bracket yet. Or if you're only making $100,000, you're going to be at the 18% or whatever that is. So the more money you make as earned income, you pay the most in taxes. The thing is, wealthy people didn't get wealthy by earning income. So the income they do earn is non-taxable.
Right.
So that's it. Yeah, bro, that's my fire alarm. I already said that twice.
I got you.
That's the 11th panel member right by now, bro. My smoke alarm been going off.
You know what I think is interesting? Like,
Hold on, y'all. We
Sorry,
gotta
I'm
get
sorry,
Shanice
sorry.
in there,
My
man.
turn. Oh, go ahead.
Gotta get Shanice in there. And I know Aisha probably like she want to respond too. I can see the smoke.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Aisha a question because off of what she said. Um, hey Aisha, hey girl, how you doing? I have a question. Um, what else? Because you said that the taxpayers pay for the government assistance. What else do your taxes pay for?
I know that we funded an unnecessary war. I know everything that our tax dollars go for. That's why I said when Bo made that comment and she was like, but you're not talking about this and we're not talking about that. We're talking about everything as a whole that our money is wasted on. Right? So people are out there stomping in the streets for everything. It's a lot of agendas that's on our board that I don't agree with. This just happens to be one of those things. A lot of things can be true at the same time, right? I just used an example that I thought was funny that happened to me the other day, but I don't agree with a lot of the things that they spend our money on, and that's why we have to have lobbyists that go in and speak on our behalf to take care of these things. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about our Black community as a whole, I think that it's a crutch, right? And foods, and it has been. You know, I think that they, just like mass incarceration, I think that the system has to be rebuilt. It's not a smart system, especially if you can have lifers. Like, how is that bettering us as a people? For people not, and like Bo mentioned, you have people that need it. You have people that have disabilities. You have elderly people. You have retired people that can't work. That makes sense, right? But people that are just not wanting to do better, not wanting to help themselves, and are using food stamps as that's just a part of their, it's literally their income at this point.
Right. But you
know what
said,
I mean? So I see both sides, but for me, I think that it's something that I'm not betting an eye at it. Like,
yeah,
and I know people who
feel
are
you.
on it.
I feel you, but you still ain't answer my question.
What did you say?
I said, what else your tax dollars?
And I gave you an example. I said we funding a war over there that they fighting about. Our tax dollars go to a million things. I mean, you can Google it. We funding wars. We're what were they just talking about? We were just fighting about online the other day. That our money was going to. Our money goes to a lot. I think our money might be funding ICE. You know what I'm saying? Our tax dollars go to a number of things that a lot of people don't agree with.
Our tax dollars go to fund the government that we have and their initiatives.
Don't help her. She said she only said.
Hold on, wait. Do you know what percentage that is being taken out specifically for the benefits of EBT and all that? Do you know the percentage?
I don't know the percentage of what's being taken out for EBT.
So I Googled it just to make sure that I was correct about it. 7.7%. We have 10 things that comes out of that we pay for tax dollars. This is one of the bare minimums. And I 1,000% agree with Bo that we are dealing with the wrong thing. That's 7% versus us paying for veterans that ain't been doing nothing, ain't trying to been doing nothing. We paying for that. We're paying
for who? I didn't hear what you said. Paying for what?
The vets.
For veterans.
I'm a veteran, so I don't agree.
Damn,
with
so you throwing vets under the bus that
I know a lot of
gave their
veterans
life to
vets under the
defend
bus
you?
like that. Like, what? We deserve
That's
to die.
wow.
We're not about to dance around it. We're not about to dance around it. We're not about to fluff it up. I'm gonna say what I mean what I say. Because when other people start talking around it, it make it seem like I'm trying to come at veterans. Never threw veterans under the bus. I'm saying if we're talking about, I'm saying a lot of vets that I know don't do nothing because they rely off that benefit.
What
so
benefit?
Is that fair too? What about the lady that can't work? What? Hold on, wait a minute. If somebody else cut me off, I'm gonna go. What about the lady that can't work, has to take care of her kids because she got into a terrible accident that she cannot take care of her kids? Like, my thing is, we're picking and choosing, and if we're gonna use EBT as a crutch, then we gotta do the same thing for vets, because there's a whole lot of vets that all they do is get drunk. And I said what I said.
You know, vets put their life on the line in order
Not
for
all
you
of
to
them.
be.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
A lot
Not
of them don't.
Wait,
not all of them. That's not true. We're not about to trauma bond. We're not about to do that.
Well, no,
there's only two people up here that can speak to this.
The ones that are up. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's not trauma. That's not trauma bonding. What they make a vow to and commit their life to once they sign up for the military is to essentially give their life if they're told to.
You literally are signing your life over, and I know people that have died in service, right? My cousin served during 9/11, right? So I know my daddy was in a Marine for 36 years. He served in Nam. So for you to even have the audacity to get out here and say that veterans
Five of
don't
my
deserve
sisters are
every dime,
five of my
they
sisters
deserve
are
every
Hold on, Denise.
inch.
five
They
of my
pay into the, and they also pay into it. It's not like we're not paying into it. It's not coming out our check.
what?
Vets pay taxes too.
What?
We pay. What is you talking about?
What? So we don't pay for
And
vets? We don't.
and
That's what you
Vets
said?
pay
and
for
it's,
vets pay for
Do
themselves.
we pay for vets or not?
Vets pay for themselves as
I'm
well. Like it's not just civilians paying taxes that vets go to. Like when this is what's cool about understanding how to interpret financial data. When you look at where taxes go, the simple answer to where tax money goes is to fund our government and its specified incentives and programs and obligations. So that's where our tax money goes. You pointed out that we spend 7.7% of our national budget on EBT, and then said that, well, we spend more money on that on vets, as if spending money on vets is a less noble cause or less needed cause, when someone who goes into the military and then is literally an order away from putting their life on the line 24/7, 365 for their 20-year career if they choose to retire, is, and you correlate that or you compare that to these women or people. I say women because the majority of people on Section 8 are women. On government systems are women.
Mm-hmm.
You compare that to these women who are buying the crab legs, can't keep their legs closed, or just not trying to do better, and then catastrophize to save your point by saying, what about that mom who's in a car crash who couldn't work? Obviously, those people don't matter. Like, that's not who we're talking about. Those people deserve benefits and all the other programs they have for them. But to compare spending for vets to spending on EBT frivolously, that's probably got to be one of the most un-American civilian things I've heard someone say on the internet. Not just because I'm a veteran, but because I understand what the data means and then understand what it takes to be a vet. Anytime civilians criticize veteran benefits, I've never seen one who wouldn't take those benefits if they could get them. I've never seen one who didn't wish that they got a retirement for doing, a 20-year job, and then also got a disability check on top of it because of all the damage they take while serving on that job. I've never seen one civilian who would turn that down.
Okay.
I get $4,800 for disability, and then another $5,200 for a CRSC pay. So that's almost $10,000 a month just for waking up in the morning. I don't know anybody on this panel who wouldn't take that, but I do know that the majority of people on this panel wouldn't go make the sacrifice I made to do that, to earn that money.
So let me say this. Keep saying compare. I never compared. I was trying to prove a point. And so when I said that, y'all got hot. I have 5 sisters that served. 5 sisters. One of them served during 9/11. So we're not gonna do that. That's not what we're going to do.
Shanice, can I help you out? I have a so I try to listen to people, and I my best to try to understand what they're saying. And this is what I think Shanice is saying. At least this is my perception. This is what I this is how I feel. I don't necessarily look at all veterans the same way that I don't look at all police officers the same. All veterans are not out here risking their lives for us. All veterans are not out here going to the military because they love their country. I love my country, right? I'm not a veteran. I've never done that, but I love my country. I would fight for my country. I would do it for free if I had to.
That shirt looks
right. What you say? Oh, yeah. Like, there are a lot of people who join the military for money. We Black. We know it. A lot of us join it for the benefits. We do our 4 years, we get out. But I won't allow somebody like that to act like there's somebody like, I know Darwin got awards. Darwin did his thing. Willie did his thing. Like, I know people who done did their thing and who really take pride and they love their country.
My bad. I just came back. What was said?
Damn.
I didn't hear what you said. I just got back. What you say?
Shanice, you can't do that now.
What? I just got back. I just said.
I know, but that's not our fault.
What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is that he was talking. He was going to a point.
I'm sorry, it buffered. I didn't know. I said what was said. My bad.
Oh.
I'm listening. Yeah, it wasn't nothing like that.
No, I'm just saying that there are a lot of veterans who don't. Everybody doesn't join the military for the same reasons. I don't look at all veterans the same. I'm not going to say that I don't respect some of them, but they're not all the same. And I'll never allow somebody who did not actually serve and do something to act like they deserve the respect of somebody who was really out there putting in work, doing things, right?
Hey, Mark, real quick, this is the part that you missed. Regardless of why they joined, they were still subjected to everything that everybody else joined for who wanted to die for their country.
Mhm.
They were willing to trade the ability to go get college and, if say I can work 4 years and get disability, they were willing to go put their life on the line for those 4 years. So regardless of the why they joined, the what of what they joined is the exact same. Me joining because I wanted to go tear shit up and do all of that stuff doesn't make Aisha any different because she joined because she wanted to go to college and she couldn't afford it herself, and she wanted to get the GI Bill, do her time, and get her degree. It doesn't make any difference because we're still under the exact same orders and we get the same directives from our leaders, the president, generals, and everything like that. They can say, hey, Willie, get your ass up and go through this course so you can learn how to operate a 50 pound, of a 50 cal machine gun. Or Aisha, I know you a logistics girl, but how about we need to send you over here so you can learn how to drive these small boats? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing that civilians never understand about the military, because all you guys can do is see it at best secondhand through like Shanice said, her sisters, or like for me kicking it with me or other people in the military.
Yeah.
Like, y'all will never understand the sacrifice that we make. And what sometimes is disheartening is that a lot of civilians have this very, very, very like dismissive and intentionally obtuse view about veteran issues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I disagree with you on the. So I understand what you're saying completely, right? They still did it. However, the why matters to me. It may not matter to you. The why matters to me. Like, I don't look at all doctors the same. I don't look at all lawyers the same. There are a lot of first responders that I don't look at them all the same because the why matters. Why are you doing it? How are you doing it? Do you take pride in what you're doing? That matters to me. Like, you can be in the military, but if you don't love your country, fuck you. That's how I feel. If you don't love America, fuck you. That's just how I feel. If you're an American, don't love America. That's my opinion. Now, and to Shanice's other point, when she said that that's a lot of I know niggas who was young, they did they 4 years and they getting 4,800 a month because they're frauding the system. I don't know about the numbers and how much people are doing it, but I know several niggas who are defrauding the system, and they know you know how it go. We black or white people do it too probably. We tell you how to fill out the paperwork. We tell you what you need to say. We know how that works. And I'm not, yeah, but that's all I'm saying. I think that was what she was saying.
I'll give you that, because if I deploy with somebody who I knew just joined the military because they didn't have shit else to do, I'm probably gonna look at them a little different or pay more attention to them. You know what I'm saying? When we going through schools and shit, because I know what their motivation is, and they probably don't want to be doing this shit. So I can see where you're coming from, but I still have to respect that man, because at the end of the day, we are in the same class, getting ready to go on the same deployment to do the exact same thing, and the consequences of us going to do that can ultimately be our life. I'm going to always respect somebody who's willing to get, like they say, you respect the man next to you in the foxhole because he's down there willing to fight with you, regardless of what his background is, his intentions are. At that point, there's no different to me.
Do you feel the same
Shit,
about
not even fight with you though? They're willing to die with you.
Well, I mean, I just the fight part, I just tried to not make it dramatic. But what you say, though?
Yeah, no, but it is dramatic though. Like, I think that's the part that most civilians leave out. Even if we're considering police officers, firefighters, these people are first responders, in which they are putting their lives on the line so that if anybody on this panel calls them, it's expected for them to show up, you know what I'm saying, and do their job. You're not gonna call your daddy. You're gonna call the police. You're gonna call 911, and some random person that doesn't know you is gonna show up. The same way how there's black ops and shit that we do know that's going on around the world that's happening in order to keep us protected in this country, regardless if you think it's great, if you think it's shitty, whatever the case may be. Even the fact that you're able to think that and say it out loud is the very reason why people are signing up and defending the country. So the least that we can do is give them whatever it is that they deserve, because they were willing to put their lives on the line.
I bet you none of these civilians is not going to work on Veterans Day when it's a holiday.
I hate holidays.
So,
I want to work every day.
You don't have a job.
I want to work every day.
We're not talking about you, sir. We're talking about everybody with the comments. You know what I'm saying? It's a 9-to-5 worker. If they get Veterans Days off, President's Day off, 4th of July, I guarantee you they not going. I mean, they not going to work. Like, oh no, I don't think the vet should be special, so I'm coming to work on Veterans Day.
That's facts, and I want to make sure and thank you for clearing that up for me, because when I said it, everybody got so hostile. I didn't get my point across. First of all, I acknowledge all vets, right? It was not. I have 5 sisters that served. I understand, I get it and everything, but what I'm saying is I wasn't comparing who they was. I was comparing the situation. That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing.
What is that? What does that mean?
Wait, if you gonna let me finish? Thank you. Jesus. What I'm saying is it's a glitch in everything. When she said taxpayers' dollars, because that's all they say. We paying for food stamps. We paying for a whole lot of things that if we look deep down into it, it's a glitch or it's a lick or for somebody. Somebody's abusing something. And everything, something is being abused when it comes down to these tax dollars. So why are we so hostile on this? Why are we so hostile on this key point? We gotta look at it all.
So what are you saying the vets are abusing?
Because they're putting their life on the line. Like, if you're comparing it to
okay.
I use myself as an example.
I'm wrong. Y'all right.
I like to be transparent. Me as a vet, what am I abusing?
What'd you say, Willie?
So what am I abusing as a vet with receiving, retirement and disability?
Just like you said, some women are using this EBT as an abuse, and I agree with it. And I just said it's abuse. It's abuse in everything, and all this tax paying. It's somebody's doing something that they ain't got no business doing.
No
that's
argument
all
there.
I'm saying, Willie. That's all I'm saying. Ain't no knock to your title.
No, not for me. Just saying for veterans in general. What are veterans abusing? In the way that some people are abusing SNAP.
I give you a perfect example. I know a guy right now. He went into the Army and he faked the injury so he could be honorably discharged, and he's getting paid for it because he did not want to go do whatever he was supposed to do. I know a whole lot of people that hit licks off that. It's a new thing now.
That's definitely not new. That was around when I was in too. Okay, the thing is, do you know how rare that is? That's not a large percentage.
But why are you asking me something that you already knew?
No, I was talking about specifically. Like, I want to know what your example was. We all know people who get medically discharged for some bullshit. Like, that's the thing. But what we're saying is that that's such a small percentage of people who get out of the military. When we don't have anything to say that it's a small percentage of people who are abusing SNAP and don't want to do better for themselves.
So, but I'm not talking about. I'm saying it, and I think that you're missing it. What I'm saying is that if we talk about this 7.7%, we gotta talk about it all. That's all I was saying.
What about the 42%?
It's a glitch in everything. That's all I'm saying.
What about the 42% that we spend on our budget?
It's a glitch in them all. You still missing it. It's a glitch in it all. It's somebody doing something that they ain't got no business doing.
If you had picked the 42% for defense spending, I can give you all types of fraud and abuse in there. But you picked the bet, so
yeah, let's go to get some of these other folks in there, y'all. Let's go ahead, Concrete. Check with you, see if you got anything to add, and let's go to Bo. Hold on, let me take you off. There you go.
You got her on probation or something? She can't unmute herself?
No, I have nothing to add. I'm listening.
Okay. Go ahead, Bo.
Baby, Bo on her phone. Bo on her phone.
Bo, can you hear me?
Bo is playing with that fox dog she got.
God dang.
What's that thing from Ratchet and Clank, the video game?
First of all,
the hedgehog
not
dog.
a fox. Say I'm a sweet baby.
That looks like a fried fox.
Anyway, yes, I'm here. I'm sorry.
I just checking to see if you had anything to add. I know they've been going back and forth. I'm just checking around for the people that's been quiet.
So I have been quiet, and I kind of checked out because I do not wish to speak on the military at all whatsoever. It is not something, one, I know about, and two, I had a very uncomfortable experience at the VA when I was taking care of my father. So I have a lot of sympathy for what they go through. I have my own thoughts and feelings about it, but having firsthand experience at the VA, I just have a lot of sympathy for veterans. I really do.
Shit, Shanice said, "Fuck them."
Hey,
No, I
I
didn't.
can't hold you. The
That's
VA
not
is
what
not the greatest.
that's what
Dang.
y'all wanted me to say, but that's not what I said. I would never say that.
Yeah,
I
it's
have to
crazy.
defend.
So
I'm
I
here for
think
civilian
Heek's
difference
next, right?
purpose.
I'm
So I don't
sorry.
have to
I'm
fuck
next,
with the VA.
Jay. Is that what it said? My
Yeah,
name
go ahead.
next. All right,
Yeah.
good. So as far as Shanice talking about this, them getting EBT, you realize not everybody qualifies for that shit. But you talking about the veterans they're abusing that on a regular basis. On a regular basis. I don't know too many former militaries are abusing getting disabilities, anything like that. They're not. Most of we see what's going on. And then that is as far as the video, yeah, those videos was made by a bunch of people who was antagonistic when they was kids. They never learned, so they became adults and they want to antagonize people. You know what I'm saying? Because their parents just sit back and watch them and study them, but never address them. And so that's what them people on that video do. And they make, like Willie said, they make us look bad as a whole. Because not all of us black people are getting food stamps or Section 8. You know, I look, I don't care nothing about it, man. I can care less about the bullshit. I can. Because most people who's getting EBT and Section 8 are not disabled. They're not. Most of them are not disabled. So yet the people are getting it. Now, my problem is I wish they hold them to the standards of some states where they do have a time limit. Unfortunately, they're not doing that. As far as Section 8 as well as EBT, they need to hold these people accountable. There should be limits on every state. I don't know if every state's like that. I know here in Kentucky it is, but what I'm hearing, some states are not like that. There is no limit. Like you said, I think somebody said you can grandfather motherfuckers in to get food stamps and Section 8. That's crazy to me. I don't think that's right, but it is what it is. It's a system we got to do, but they got to fix it. So is this going to be the beginning of the end? Is this shutdown going to be the beginning of the end where they're going to start cutting off certain benefits? Well, in case y'all didn't know, they are. Some benefits are not coming back even after the shutdown is over. Some of the benefits are not coming back. And so I guess y'all better go down there and pay attention. If you are getting these benefits, you better go find out, see which benefits is not coming back even after the shutdown. So I'll leave it there.
Just point out there's definitely limitations on military benefits that, since we abuse them, there's definitely a date set when they expire for us as well.
I think that it will come back. I know that a lot of the conversations has been
Well,
that
don't piss me off.
some of the money that's
That's
coming
not what I
from
meant.
tariffs.
And you know that's not what I meant.
Damn, you just gonna overtalk me?
Don't piss me off.
Yeah, she was one of them kids I was talking about, Viz. That was antagonistic when they was kid. Parents never addressed them, and now she a grown ass woman who does this stuff now.
But yeah,
hear
no,
nothing.
there's been a lot of talk of the money that's coming back from the tariffs and things of that nature actually going into to pay for the EBT. So I'm sure that that it will return, especially to the elderly, to people that's disabled, but to the point of what I'll assume everyone is making. If you just own that motherfucker, just having a bunch of kids, and you're not proactively trying to find a job, then your time on there was more than likely going to be limited.
Let me get to some of these super chats right quick. ASO $2 says good convo. Vic Mama 44 $4.99. I was just waiting on Aisha to ask mine. Where your people from? That's some nasty work, Hank. We also got Bruce with $20 says hell no. If you a man and a woman on government assistance, that's failure. Not only are we funding your wife and kids, we funding an able-bodied man too. Hell no, fam. Married couples should not get government assistance. Two people working, no. American First Rifleman $2 says, feed your own kids, not my job. Vets first. Gotta touch my soul. $2. I am a vet. We pay taxes. American First Rifle $2 says, barking about EBT, but have weaves, eyelashes, and nails. Gotta touch my soul. $5 says, it does matter why they join. We make up 1%, and we all volunteer to give up our life. And lastly, gotta touch my soul again. $5. Most vets that apply for VA don't even get it, especially Vietnam vets. So we got some vets in there. Shout out to all the vets, man. Thank you guys for your service. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Let me just play this clip just to add to further discussion.
Boy, you men really ain't shit, huh? Imagine being happy that kids will be starving. Imagine being happy that a lot of women won't be able to feed their kids. A lot of the kids that you dudes abandon. Imagine that. Y'all dudes are rejoicing at the fact that the SNAP benefits and government assistance and all that stuff has been taken away, and that's causing a ripple effect to hurt a lot of families. And you guys are happy for that. And y'all want to get online now and talk about, you women can't say men ain't ish no more. The government breaking up with y'all, so that stuff ain't gonna fly. Women are definitely right to still say that men ain't shit, because look at your response, because it seemed like majority of y'all men just love seeing a woman struggle. It seemed like majority of y'all men that's talking love seeing kids go without. I mean, a lot of y'all dudes abandon your own kids anyway. And y'all talk about women and daddy government, you know, going to daddy government to get help when you niggas won't even take care of your own goddamn children. If you would actually be a father to your kids, they wouldn't have to go to daddy government. Man, miss me with this nonsense, boy. All you men that's happy that children will go without and that women will be struggling because they can't take care of their kids, shame on you, boy. Shame on you. You ain't no man, fam. You a hoe ass nigga.
So we playing controversial Shannon's man hating feminist lingerie up under his clothes wearing ass videos now.
I hope that ain't true what he just said. God damn.
Man, I guarantee you that boy done took more dick than every woman on this panel.
Mont, he sound like he might have some of your talking points though, dog. You agree with that?
Hold on, Hink. Wait, Hink.
No, Willie, don't save me. Don't
That's
save
my
me.
dog, but goddamn,
I
mine ain't got.
understand.
Listen, the only person who got something on controversial Shannon is one of them like purple polka dot headed ass women at an anti-Trump rally talking about boys can be girls and girls can be boys. That's the only thing close to controversial Shannon. Mont, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he cap and save a hoe sometimes. That's cool, but controversial Shannon is Captain. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Captain Slurp a hoe. Or like what Bo say, he cyber slurp women so bad, and then the one that he got don't look like shit. Like, never mind. I'm attacking the message, not the messenger.
You're right. I'm interested in what my buddy Mont got to say.
I see both sides. I think it's typical that people on both sides aren't. Yeah. You know, y'all don't like that I'm objective, but I see both points of view. And I think that both people slightly missed the mark. I think that I understand. I try to understand the perspective of the guys who are saying, you know, are not rejoicing, but are kind of making jokes and poking fun at the women. There's something there, and there's something on the other side of, you know, I can't necessarily completely throw out the everything that he said, that like men need to take care of their children. Well, yeah, obviously that's true, right? There are, you know, some of the things that he said were, you know, legitimate, and I can also understand the feeling of, you know, guys wanting lazy, at least the people they think are lazy, who just leech off the system, you know, who kind of like making fun and poking jokes at them. I can understand both sides, but I think that there's something to both sides, but both people are slightly missing the mark. I think we both can do better. Both sides can do better.
Yeah, I left my camera on all day. The bitch turned off.
Let me go ahead and mute it. Okay. To that video, do you think? Nah, I did that. Why do some men want women to struggle before they respect them?
I don't know. I do know that there is a particular subset of guys that actually do get off on women suffering. I don't think that that's true for most guys, though. But I do know that a lot of guys do get off on humbling women. So I just know that there is a particular subset of men that like that, mostly just because, in my opinion, this ain't fact necessarily. Well, it don't have to be. I feel like it's because they're not doing as well, or they don't measure up to what the woman needs or what it takes to take care of a woman and their children. So I feel like maybe that's why.
I think that they used to seeing their mama struggle, and they think that it's normal. That's what I've always felt. I think that when I see men that want women to work hard and go the extra mile and do all of this stuff, it's because their mama was working 2 or 3 jobs, and they think that that's normal. And they think that it's almost like they want you to prove themselves, prove yourself to them, or they want to see you go through it. And it's like, no, that's not normal. Your mama worked 3 jobs because she had to. Like, she didn't want to be doing that. So I just think a lot of them have like mommy issues.
The subset of guys that's like champion or like celebrating this, those are probably the guys that just been seeing women get over for their entire lives, and then probably couldn't get the women they wanted. So now that they see women in mass that have typically, passed them by, overlooked them, finally falling off and having something not go their way, they happy. Like, that I can understand the logic there. I'm never gonna say somebody has mommy issues because the guys like to these humblies. I don't correlate those two things, but I'm also a man. But I wouldn't celebrate it. I'm not supporting anybody celebrating, the fact these kids are gonna go without, or that these women are going to, have to now find alternative means to provide for themselves. But at the end of the day, everybody else is doing it, so I don't feel bad for them either. If anybody, I only feel bad for the kids because they can't do shit about it. There's videos of moms telling their kids not to work, like their 15, 16-year-old son who want to make money to do stuff. I think the guy he was trying to pay for like his senior pictures, and his mom said, "No, because if you work, you're gonna fuck up my food stamps." Like, that type of shit is happening. So I don't feel bad for those people, but I feel bad for those children who can't do no better.
Well, I know they still got programs here in my state where the kids will get a backpack full of food every week. That's still going to be going on. The kids still going to get that even during this government shutdown. They still going to give them food. A lot of the low-income schools, it doesn't matter high school, elementary, or middle schools, they automatically got free lunches. Automatically got free lunches if you're in a certain zip code. And the one schools that are more well off, they got reduced prices on their lunches. So I think, like I said, in my state, the kids gonna be still eat. They're gonna get them backpack full of lunches. Now it's gonna be just enough, for 5 days. That's all they're gonna get. They're gonna get 5 days worth of food, and then that's it. Then they just have to somehow figure it out. Now, some of these food pantries that's not being provided by government assistance, they should be all right, but I'm sure they're gonna limit them. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the food pantries around here that we would donate to, they usually give you 5 days worth of food, but they may shut it down to 2 or 3 days because more people may be coming. Unfortunately, I'm sure they're gonna get more traffic due to the situation. I don't want to see no kids suffer. I don't want to see no kids go hungry. I know what it felt like.
Technically,
when I
what's
was kid.
supposed to happen?
Hold on, Aisha. Hold on, Aisha. I got you, man. I understand. I was one of them kids who got the box left on the porch with the orange juice that had no sweet or sugar, the Chex cereal, the dry milk, the government cheese. Yeah, I got that shit. I understand what it means to be without. And that's why I always said to myself, I don't want to ever be in that situation. I don't want to ever bring my kids up in that situation. So I made sure I did certain things, made certain investments, got certain certifications, got my college degree, so I wouldn't end up in that situation where I have to get government assistance, Section 8 or food stamps. Well, now I can't say it because I get Section 8 because my tenant pays me due to Section 8. So I'm going to take a little hit because one of my tenants is going to probably more than likely miss my bread. Now, they're going to have to figure the way out because the rent's still going to be due. You know, they cover about $850, but they're going to have to find a way to cover the last $300 to $400. Now they're going to have to pay the whole bill or get the hell on out. Now, I hate to have to put you out and you're going to have Thanksgiving out in a cardboard box somewhere, but I will. Bills still due. Water still due. Lights still got to be paid. I still need my money, and then I can't pay them bills off of love and the IOU notes. So I'll leave it there.
Hey, Hank, just so you not have to worry too much. If you have someone who is getting both SNAP and Section 8, I don't believe that they're going to be, or what do they call that? I think they grandfather them where it's not going to affect them. So I don't think that we're going to take too much of a hit. But JR, I just sent you a video that I was talking about for where the mom was tell her kid that he can't work because they're going to cut off the food benefits. Play that so they can see what I was talking about. But if you go on TikTok, once you watch that one, it's dozens of them where you can just see the mom telling kids like, "No, you can't work because it's going to fuck up my money."
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's us. Like, I couldn't find one with the white folks. I looked.
Okay. I'm trying to download it right now. Give me one second.
You know, I feel like most people on food stamps are not utilizing it properly. I almost wish that food stamps was an incentive to make you, like, this government assistance was an incentive to make you do better. I wish that the better you did, the more you got to a certain point until you got to a point where they can just pull you right off. You know, I wish that there was like, oh, you get a raise. I don't know if you get a raise. Okay, we'll give you more benefits for momentarily or something. I just wish people had reason to strive to get more and to do more versus striving to do less. You know, it's almost like if you do this, we'll take it away. And that means that you'll be in the same position. I wish it was the opposite.
So has anybody here been on government assistance? Has anybody here ever been on food stamps?
My granny was.
But have you all firsthand had to go through the process of getting food stamps?
I have.
Any college student can.
Yeah.
Any college student can apply for food
I'm
stamps.
talking about I'm talking about for the sole purpose of taking care of a child.
Yeah. When my son's father passed away
not me
7
personally,
years
no.
ago. Yes. Yeah.
So did you have to go through the process of, did you have a job?
I did have a job. Yes.
Okay. So that would also eliminate you. So what I'm getting at is, if you are on government assistance to take care of a child, you need food stamps, you need childcare, you need whatever, right? There are things that you have to do. You have to go find a job. You do have to do that. You have to show that you are putting in applications. You have to actually do these things. If there are rules set in place to do that, and you have a certain amount of time to get that done. The only thing that happens, because it's not that they don't have regulations around this. It's the people, it's the workers. The social workers have such a large caseload. Like, they have so many people that it's hard to keep track of who's doing what. That is how that happens. But I don't they don't pay social workers enough to do these things, to do their job well enough. So that's another thing. So like the system could work if the system would work. Like if you paid them enough money, if you had enough people to manage all of the people, because seeing DHS, seeing like the sea of people when you walk into DHS, that's extremely overwhelming. And these people have people after people after people. As soon as you walk out, somebody else is walking in. And it's hard to keep track of all of these things. So like, it's not that they don't have regulations. It's not that you're not supposed to. They're not just letting people willy-nilly just stay on this forever. Not not in black and white, right? Like that's not how it's supposed to be. But the system will fail if one thing goes wrong. And not having enough workers, not paying those workers enough money to want those jobs, I think is the first start of this. And then everything else just kind of falls apart after that. But there are rules in place because I had to fill out paperwork in order to to show that I was putting in applications, all this, that, and the other. Like I had to keep a job. I had to do all of these things when I got food stamps for my son. Because I was 19. I ain't have no skills. I didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just starting out in life. I didn't have anything. So it's not that they just want us, perpetually on food stamps. But I think that the system just doesn't work very well.
They didn't do that when I did it. They didn't make me, try to have a job. I know it was, I think it was the time period for it to run out. I had to renew it, at a certain period. And refill out an application, but they never, was like making me. Now they said if I was going to get like the actual money instead of the food stamps, then I had to do some extra stuff. So I was like, I don't want no money, just give me the food stamps at the time. But
let me go ahead and play this video. Just a couple of them that Willie sent. Here we go.
Cut off my link. And you think that you finna go get a job? You gonna be fucked up. You think they're gonna take all my government assistance because you want to work? I'm not going.
So I can't go get a job. They just cut off the link. Now I'm trying to go get a job so that I can get food. And you worried about Section 8 being cut off?
You're going to give the
that
link
shit
back.
lame as fuck.
I just have to go send in some documents. I have to send in a few documents. Once I get those documents in, I'm gonna get my SNAP benefits back.
I'm trying to figure out some shit, trying to build my way up. I already don't have a college education. Trying to build my way up, become a manager.
Now you want to be a manager and do all this. When you was in high school, you wasn't this person. You was reckless as hell.
You too busy worrying about some fucking Section 8. Why I can't go out and try to be a man for once? Huh?
You didn't want to be a man when I was trying to make you one.
Like, damn,
you
bro.
wanted to be outside with your friends. And
they just cut off the link. This is our time to wake up. Right now, they just cut the link off, bro. They just cut the fucking link off. Damn, bro. I'm trying to go get a job. I'm trying to go get a job so that I can get some money in and provide food for the family. You telling me I can't? What kind of shit is that, bro?
We're gonna get.
And you worried about government assistance?
3 months. Give it 3 months.
3 months.
What the fuck? We still have some money left over. We still got some food left over. That shit should last us. You're not going to go get a job because that's just another head off my link card. I'm not doing it. Or you have to go somewhere else.
They just cut the fucking link off.
With a brand new
have
baby.
not eaten in 5 days. It is the taxpayer's responsibility to take care of my kids.
Trump done cut them food stamps off. If you're poor, don't have kids, okay? If you're struggling, don't have kids. Don't bring more in. If you already have them, that's another situation. If you don't have them, don't bring any in. And if you have 2, don't go having another one. If you have 1, don't go having 2 more.
So they say 2 million is getting cut off this month for the stamps. I'm about to go find out if I'm in that number, in that ratio. It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents. If you're watching a video and you can't send me nothing, I'm blocking you.
The internet is fucking us.
I think she was
saying
on the last
Oh
video.
my god.
Is that real? Is that real?
They really posted it.
Oh
Hey, the internet.
I cannot
The
believe that.
internet is destroying us as a people.
And she cooking niggas in the. It's like she cooking people in her comments too.
Hey, I've even seen people stating, "Hey, let's all meet up and go to this grocery store and steal groceries since they cut off the link." And oh man, y'all think I'm finna pay for this? Hell no! And I seen one chick, she pulling out short ribs out of her purse that she done took the label off. Oh, the way that you steal it is by taking the label off of the meat. We are at a state of emergency, and we are getting dumber and dumber due to the internet because this shit is insane.
Wow.
Y'all thought I was just making that shit up.
This shit is insane.
I think that last woman seemed to me, at least to me, to be obviously disturbed mentally. So I ain't even.
She did say she was getting a disability check. Now that's one thing that I didn't know because I don't know where her disability come from, but mine, just hit. So I don't know. I don't really know where hers is come. Maybe it's like state disability or because she retarded or something. But like veterans, our disability is hitting on the first.
Willie, that cat ain't disability. cat ain't disabled. I tell you that, having them goddamn kids.
Somebody said they don't care if it's a touch of autism or you're on the spectrum, as long as that coochie working.
God,
they cut
that's
off this
crazy.
Like, she got 5 kids. Like that means that at least one man has had sex with her 5 times. You know how bad I bet you he should be on Snap too. Like, you know how bad his life got to be. That's who he had a child with.
Where are the celebrities? Where are the mothers? Where is Kim Kardashian? Where is Cardi B? Where is Taylor Swift? Where is Beyonce? 40 million people are about to lose their food assistance, and they do not care because they are part of the system. Wake up. Nobody needs Skims when they're actually skin and bone. Nobody needs 12 albums with the same music. Wake up. They don't care. They want you to starve. Starve them. Do not buy their stuff. They want children to starve. Wake up.
Hey, it's a special wing of just saying whatever Belfry insane asylum for people who put a camera up and make videos like that. Like they set up a camera, get good lighting. Like for her to these food stamps, she got some bomb ass lighting. But for people who record those videos intentionally, it's got to be a special kind of dumb. Like whatever that disorder is needs to be studied because what the fuck? You just said Kim Kardashian, rich as fuck. Beyonce, richer than fuck. And it's called other celebrities, and it's saying, well, they don't care. Like,
the funniest part about it is those very celebrities are the ones that encourage people to vote for the people that's preventing the aid to even go through.
That's a tough point. That's a good
so
one.
that's mind-boggling on its own. But hey, here we are.
Where's Kim Kardashian? I've never seen somebody call Kim Kardashian in some sort of like distress, unless it was a nigga looking for a sex tape. Like I've never thought that I'd hear today that somebody called for Kim Kardashian to help her with something noble.
You know the interesting part to me, I feel like it's crazy because I saw somebody make a post the other day. They was like Rick Owens. They was like this other person. We buy their stuff, but they don't. They not where they at right now. And I just thought it was crazy to even think that, like, if you were on food stamps, why were you buying $1,000 shoes?
Why do you even know Rick Owens' name?
Why do you even know his name? I thought it was so interesting, like that people like you're not his audience. Like you've never been his audience. He doesn't, those things weren't for you. You kind of trickled in and, and tried to, buy those things. But, and I feel like if I was like, Kim K or somebody like that, I would use it as a press run opportunity. Like I'll give y'all some money and I'll be one of the only celebrities that y'all think was looking out for you. I do that. I have a little campaign I run.
The people they support the most, like Betty Crocker, Hostess, Duncan Hines, Purdue Farms, all the people who make the groceries they buy, they're not out here campaigning for these niggas either. And they actually create the stuff that they buy, like the food they're buying. Like Coke, Pepsi, they ain't nobody came out talking about, hey, y'all got to take care of this food stamp shit.
Like, now, I did hear that this is going to make prices go up for us, though, guys.
How?
Because they're saying that people aren't going to be buying food, and the grocery stores get their bulk of money from food stamps, so they're going to have to.
If people in an economy aren't buying something, the price of that thing does not go up.
Go down. They go down because it's perishable. You got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of it.
If it were other goods or services, then potentially, but perishable items, no. So the food, what that does mean though is that some of these grocery stores are going to struggle. You're going to start seeing it's going to bring back those, 3x coupon days where you can go use that same $2 off coupon 3 times to get something that was $6 for, negative $4 now. Like extreme couponing about to go be the shit for everybody if y'all want to get back into that.
Didn't I just see some farmers on TV that were saying they were on food stamps? Some farmers were on the news saying they were on food stamps.
Yeah, because farmers don't make a lot of money. They barely break even. That's the majority of farmers in America. Their goal is to break even. Like that's what their target is. Anything on top of that is extra, and that typically goes into maintaining like equipment, feed, land, facilities, other cattle, stock, whatever it is. So farming is not a lucrative business until you hit like the spot where you got like 9,000 cows, which cows $1,600 a head. 9,000 times that is a lot of money.
9,000 cows. God damn.
That's a lot, yeah.
I think
9,000 cows.
The unfortunate part about this is how political they are making this. I just seen an article about he's a politician in Chicago, Willie Wilson.
Willie Wilson.
All these Willies, bro. Willie Nilly, Willie Wilson, like change these niggas.
Willie Nelson. He was trying to give senior citizens gift cards with money on it so that they can feed themselves. And the city of Chicago blocked them from doing it. Why would they do that? Because it doesn't align with the narrative that they want to push. They want to be able to say, look, these old people aren't able to eat because of what Trump is doing. And it's unfortunate that the Democrats essentially are using Black people as leverage, poor people, elderly people, disabled people as leverage to be able to push this agenda that they want to get across.
Because technically the state is supposed to come in and bail them out. So whenever the government shuts down, the state is supposed to have funds that are set aside to come in and pay. Because I used to work for a nonprofit. They used to come in and pay when those things don't happen. These blue states don't have the money because they spent it all on the migrants. So now they are like Black people are going to suffer at their expense. A lot of people are going to suffer at their expense because they're trying to prove a point.
Move to Texas, everybody.
Yeah, I'm with you when you're right.
Everybody move to Texas, just not Dallas. Y'all go to Houston. Well, Ma, you can come to Dallas. move to Texas.
Men aren't predators, then why the fuck are they on here bragging about SNAP benefits being cut? So it's gonna force women into interacting with them again. What an odd thing to say and assume. They're literally on here gloating at the fact that they think they're gonna have access to women again because government assistance has been cut for the month of November.
Hey, does she sound low?
Very low.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's scratch that one.
Who you think you are? If that's what it took.
Yeah, we scratch that one.
What kind of man thinks that the government not being able to give some woman food stamps is going to give them access to them?
My guy, what's his name? Corey Holcomb. Yeah.
He said that.
Oh he funny as shit. You gotta watch him.
He said he likes them poverty women. He said he chases out them poverty women.
Yeah, you gotta watch him.
That's crazy.
We can't hear you, Will, if
What are
you
you
talking to
talking
us.
We probably gonna see $40 coochie prices again. We ain't seen that since the 2000s.
Damn.
Like, but in all fairness, right? Of the fellas up here, I'm not trying to be funny. Well, I mean, it's gonna be funny, but of y'all, which one of y'all are out here celebrating the fact that chicks are losing snap? So you mean it's gonna get you some more pussy? Cause now you can go get all the snap hoes again. Like, who is thinking like that? I don't think if you knew a woman was on snap and assistance, who is still gonna fuck that? Who's still here fucking with her?
I
My
don't think
nigga ain't
that
just saying no.
anybody's really doing that. I think this is some internet red pill, blue pill, another way to get that conversation going again. I was thinking about that earlier. Like, really, is this really just another one of those things to get
Definitely
us
ain't red
talking
pill,
on
because red pill
social
niggas ain't
media?
fucking with
No men are actually like celebrating that. That's.
I don't, as a man, right? I just don't see how I can wake up and be like, oh shit, the Cowboys won. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hell no. The Section 8 bitches don't lost set snaps, so now I can go get them too. Like, that's just never, it doesn't compute with me. It's not something I could see like ever happening. And then at the end of the day, like, men, we go through a phase where, dealing with chicks with snap is cool because they got all the snacks. Like, I'm young in the military, it made sense. But as we are older and more mature, a woman that's on snap is not stable and is going to be a liability to you. Because if a woman on snap fucks with anybody on this panel, male wise, y'all gonna fuck up her money. Because now if you get with her, you get married, she don't get snapped no more.
What it all depends, because if you are a come up for her, then she wouldn't be concerned about the snap.
Do you think the mindset of these women who've been getting shit for free are gonna look at anybody as a come up when they got it? There's certain shit we gotta do now.
Yes, and the only reason why I say it is because you'll be surprised how many of these chicks that's in the club, these IG models that are on these benefits, like they are literally.
I've seen it. I've been at the club and seen somebody pull out their Louis bag. Like they finna pay and they move. I done seen them move that link card out the way, but I seen that card because it's blue, mama. I seen it. Yeah, they be
What if
out
they
here.
was
I do agree with
borrowing
you.
though, Aisha?
And I
What if they
do
was
agree with you,
borrowing?
Willie, that there are some women.
Borrowing it.
I buy food stamps. Anybody selling them, I buy them.
I was about to say anybody selling
Hey, hold on, bro. Let's
And they don't be wanting to sell them. They don't be wanting to sell them.
See,
Yeah,
see,
don't
y'all
say
them
that
kids
shit out
that used
loud.
to act, what I'm saying, used to be annoying, man, and do a TV
Do
shit
y'all remember
that we
when it
talked
was
about
actually
earlier.
the
JR
money?
can't even
Like
finish
it was
damn
the.
question.
I remember
Can't
when
finish
it
his
was the
question.
money. You used to have to take the food stamp to
JR,
the
my
store.
heart goes out to you, my brother. Jesus.
Yeah, my
usually
granny
the
got
part.
those, but Hink was trying to finish. Let me let him
Go
finish.
ahead, go ahead.
No, it wasn't me, JR. JR was trying to finish. Y'all just cut him off.
Shit, I thought you was trying to finish the way you was talking about. My bad, Jared. Go ahead, big dog.
Oh,
I lost my train of thought on my dad voice.
It was funny when she was doing it to me, Hank, huh? Yeah.
Nah, I didn't. I said something then, but that's why I made that reference back to them kids of being a,
Hey,
mischievous,
fellas,
annoying. And
have you guys realized now, or how long, if you have, that the women that have these designer purses, and all this designer stuff, tend to not have anything else but those things? Like they got an apartment closet full of orange boxes, and mint green boxes, but it's a 1-bedroom apartment that she's sharing with somebody.
she's sleeping on the floor.
Like we're not even
She
gonna
ain't
talk
got
about
no headboards, no bed rails or nothing.
with a bunch of fake plants and shit in there. Like when you go out and you like anytime that like for person, when I see a woman and she's out and she got one of them fucking never full bags and she has no kids, I already know that, what I'm saying, how this shit finna go. Not talking about the ones that's fake, but the women who going out here and spending $3,000-$4,000 on bags when they don't drive but a $15,000-$16,000 car, or they paying $3,000-$4,000 in rent. It's crazy to me, but though that is who is in the club right now. Those are the girls in the club acting like you got to be a rich nigga to talk to them. Like you know how much you got to have all this money in the world to talk to broke women.
Hey, Willie, but the thing about it too, I mean, what you're saying is true, but a lot of them are receiving them as gifts, and then like what they doing is that
fuck it,
they selling coochie.
No, when they get into a time of need, there are some credible sources online who actually sell authentic things, and so they'll sell it to them, and then they'll resell it to the public. So
yeah, like retail me not. Yeah, I get you. But like, so working in a pawn shop, right? Seeing chicks come in trying to bring in their Louis bags, or back then like Dooney and Burke, like seeing them try to come in and bring them bags in, and then get mad when we say you can get $40 for the bag. And they're like, well, I paid $2,000 for this bag last year. Well, ma'am, it's worth, we can sell it for 80, so we're gonna give you 40. Like, and just understanding, seeing that group of people understanding, like it's never been And this is 2003 and 4, and seeing how it's still just that bad today is crazy. Like, and every time you see a woman with the bag, they take a picture, they put the bag in the picture, they put it on the table next to the food and shit. Like, because that's like their one bag. And then if you go look at all her pictures, she got that YSL bag in every fucking picture.
I let you slide the first time. Don't make me cut your ass
And then
out.
guess what else they doing?
I let you slide the first time.
I will chew you up. A Snapchat filter.
Never that.
Dang. Not the filters. Well, JR, you know what they do? I tell you this. Some of these women just need to start having a goddamn yard sale. They need to have a yard sale on a good Saturday and Sunday morning. Go on out there, set up a table and start selling shit. Looking at clothes and look what, hey, I'm gonna have to get some shit up. I have to make some sacrifices. And maybe that's what they have to do.
Go ahead. Girl in the chat said Poshmark. She right, because Poshmark is the shit if you like vintage bags.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Watching that last season of Raising Kanan, that Louis Vuitton bomber jacket that he had on, like, yeah, you can get all that type of shit off of Poshmark.
Yeah, Poshmark is definitely vintage. Like, you're gonna find like your older stuff on there.
Yeah, you get the dark orange. You're saying Louis Vuitton,
like
bag.
the old print Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, niece.
I just want to throw this out here that there are churches that's out here that are stepping up. They're giving food out. If you really are in need, check your local churches and things like that. I've been to 4 states within 6 days, within these past 6 days, helping churches just distribute out food and things like that. So if you're really in need, if you really, really need food, check out your local churches. That's all I want to say.
Okay. Shanice, shout out Shanice for helping the churches out. Shout out to you, man.
Why they not donating food? What them Democrats them Democrats.
Hey, I'm doing my food drive in 3 weeks up here.
I was about to say, because I do it.
So I don't know. I think everybody up here doing something charitable to help people out, but
I think everybody worried about the ugly sweater. Shit, that's what they're worried about.
He said we're about the ugly sweater parties.
I want to do my Christmas toy drive in an ugly sweater, but I can't. I got doing that type of stuff up here, man. Like I did with the year before last when I did it. People was like mad at me because I wasn't picking them. Like just randomly going and paying for people's stuff. They were like, "Why didn't you pick me?" Or when they saw that I was going to go pay for it, they went to go grab others. It just turned into like niggas nigging. And then the same thing at Christmas. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got a truck full of shit, and you get here last and talk about ain't no more PS5s. No, ma'am, they went first. And then, well, F you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be real careful about where you being charitable at, too. And these churches, y'all think they just trying to be helpful. They want you to be a member so you can go in there and start tricking off your money, too. Like, once you get
oh my God, really? Oh my God.
Shit, like, listen, churches are businesses. Let's be real.
Oh my God.
It's a business.
I mean, I'm starting to think it's real. I'm seeing all these pastors asking for all this money, exact dollar amounts.
Look at all these pastors who like on trial or going to jail for fraud and shit.
I need $2,000.
$1,200.
Can we talk about that?
You're $200 short. $1,200.
The day that I go to church and they ask me for a specific dollar amount is the day that I tell them I pay my tithes when Jesus get a cash app because serve no.
Damn.
Like I'll give that nigga his money when I see him. Like I'm not giving it to you, so you can give it to him. That's crazy.
And then to embarrass her in front of the entire church.
Yeah, that was tacky.
I'm gonna need the rest. He said, "I'm gonna need the rest of that 800. Y'all lock them doors."
Hey, he shook her down like he was a goddamn pimp.
Lock his ass up. You going
that's so crazy to me because when I saw that, I was like, in no shade, and I say this with so much love. That's why I stopped attending churches because pastors are pimps and the hoes of the congregation. And no shade to nobody. That's exactly how I think. Because not all pastors are operating that way, but there are a lot of pastors who are operating that way, and I feel that way to my core. I give through. If I see somebody need help or they don't have, I give. That's my 10%. And God knows my heart and my intentions are pure. But there's no way I will give money to a pastor who lives in a 10-bedroom house, got 10 cars, and taking my last to go feed him. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would prefer to give it to someone who truly needs it. And that's just that.
Most pastors used to be pimps. The pimp game dried up and they became pastors, especially in Chicago.
And that's why you find the biggest
used to be pimps.
That's why you find the biggest dick eating demons in church.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, niece.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. And I'm not going to say too much on it because this is a very sensitive topic because it be the same people that never experience all of that talks about the church so bad. Now, my sister up here, I appreciate you for saying some pastors. I appreciate for you saying some pastors. That's not all churches. Like, I'm going to use my church for example. My bishop owns 2 restaurants and his wife owns a hair salon. He'll give more than he doesn't even get a payment from the church. So when we use those analogies, we gotta be careful because it's not every pastor. And the reason why you don't want to go to church, it has nothing to do with God. That's people. It's the same people that you work with at your job. Them same people that you go to the grocery store. It's the same people. So why we use church as, oh, I'm not going. I mean, I'm not knocking you for going. You know, I'm not. I hope you think because I don't argue religion. I'm not knocking you, but it's just be like the same people you talk about that's in church, the same people that you see when you gotta go to the hospital. It's the same people. So I just want to say this. I just did a whole tour with these pastors that was giving out their own pocket just to help. They wasn't looking for no membership. They was doing, I went from a mega church to a storefront church. Sometimes people just want to help. And everything don't have to be negative. And as pastors in Chicago, I work with majority of the top prominent pastors in Chicago, and all of them had their own businesses before they became pastors.
Yes.
So it's a sensitive
They
subject.
still pimping and selling hope.
And please don't.
That don't change the message. They still pimping and selling hope, and a lot of them pastors don't do nothing in the community in Chicago.
Can you give me a
Period. Point
name?
blank. It's more of them doing bad than good. I'm not gonna say that all pastors are bad because you do have good pastors out there that are truly doing the work of God, but the majority of the pastors ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. They have these big elaborate churches in the middle of these written down neighborhoods and ain't doing a thing for the neighborhood. And when you go to the Muslim community, it's the total opposite. Them brothers and sisters get down over there, baby. They do stuff in the community. They make sure they train them little boys up as soldiers. They got their own food, they own cleaners, they own everything. The black churches think they ain't on that type of time, and they ain't been on that type of time in a long time. They are in the business of selling hope. That's all they do. They don't really do a lot.
Hold on, y'all.
You mentioned Matt, Shanice.
Hold on, Concrete trying to get in there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. This is my personal experience. Me and my son, we lost everything 2 years ago due to a chemical something pipe rupture under my condo, right? I mean, they said we had to leave with what was on our back and our feet. So me and my son was sleeping in the homeless shelter and my car, right? So I took my son to Bakersfield. I came back out to the Bay Area to figure things out. As I was sitting in this coffee shop, 2 men walked in and upon me leaving, the guy said, "Bless you." And I was like, "Thank you." And I was driving and I got to the light and he was honking his horn. I looked to my right. He was like, "Hey, can you pull over?" And I pulled over. And so he's like, "I want to pray with you." And I was like, "Thank you." I'm like, "Why does he want to pray with me?" I'm like, "Okay, this got to be God working through him, right?" So he was like, "Hey, meet me at this address at this particular time for some dinner. Maybe I can help you and talk to you." So I met him at this particular restaurant off Highway 80 in Berkeley, California. Very nice restaurant. And he walked in with a computer bag of some sort. And he said, "I need you to sign this NDA." Now I was green, of course. I didn't understand what an NDA was. And I was like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "Yeah, I'm a pastor in the Bay and I have a church in Dallas." He says, $25,000 in here, but if you sign this, I can help you. I said, "No, this is bad." And I immediately was afraid. And I said, "This is exactly why I don't attend churches." Because of something like this right here, because hidden agendas, right? And not all pastors are like that, but that just confirmed why I remove myself from spaces like that. Does that make sense? So, and I say that with love. And again, all pastors are not the same. All their intentions are not the same. I go off what I've seen in my experiences alone and what I see other people have gone through or what have you. But it's scary.
I'm so sorry that you went through that. And it's stories like that.
I was gonna say, Concrete. I know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you went through that. And unfortunately, it's stories like that gives, the community a bad rep and name and things like that. So I'm going to apologize. There is no excuses for that because that's crazy. I've heard stories and I've heard people tell me their stories and I sympathize, but I can't relate. I've been in church all my life. my both of my grandparents are preachers still to this day. You see what I'm saying? Both of my parents are ministers. You see what I'm saying? So I'm a PK. So I've never experienced. Have I seen crookedness? Absolutely. But I seen it in grocery stores. I seen it at work. I seen everything. These people are human. At the end of the day, they're human, but that does not make it right. So I apologize for that because that's crazy, and it's hurtful to hear stuff like that. That's crazy.
So what? So concrete. I know at Shanice Church, Bedside Baptist with Reverend Sheets and Pastor Pillow.
Yeah. So hey, that's what we're
They
not
will
gonna do.
take care of
See,
you.
don't come in my
They
religion
will make
because I will
sure you
shoot your ass
good. You
up.
don't have to sign
Don't
no
come in my
NDA.
religion because I will
You don't
shoot
have
your
to do
ass
none of
up
that.
when it comes down to
Show
my
up,
religion. Everything else we
pay your
can joke
tithes,
about.
and they'll
Everything
take
else we
care of
can
you.
joke about. I don't come in
I'm
nobody
trying to
else's
figure
religion.
out
Don't
why
come in my
Shanice is
religion because
talking.
I will light your
When she
ass
was
up. I will
talking,
light your ass up.
she
I
was
promise
talking.
you I will.
I calmed
I
down.
don't
I be
care.
quiet.
That's not cool. Don't do that. And I'm telling you,
That's not what
respectfully, don't
Jesus
do that.
would tell you to do.
I
Jesus
know.
don't
Don't
I
do
do
mean,
that.
it. I don't
her
care.
being
Don't do that. I'm serious. Don't do
preacher's
that.
kid, that heathen is showing his face right now.
Okay. I'll see y'all later.
That's crazy.
Hey, Bo, did you raise your hand? You was trying to say something? Okay, go ahead.
Like 15 minutes ago, she been like trying to get in there.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I I think that we need to realize that the churches do not do any significant work in the communities, mostly just because their hands are tied. If they want to keep their 501c3 status, they cannot get involved politically. They can't do much of anything. Like they can't speak out against anything. They can't make like a significant change in the community. And they do run it as a business. It's a business, period. That's all they are. They are not pillars of the community. They are not there to help the community. They are there to help the people that they help, the people that they cool with, because it's a popularity contest usually. But we need to look at churches nowadays, especially black churches, as businesses. They are not, they are there to give us hope. They are there to spread whatever word they spreading. I don't know. I'm not going to, I'm not gonna say what it is and what it ain't. That ain't none of my business because I don't go to church like that. But I think that we need to stop expecting community efforts from churches because that is not the point of churches anymore. That left when the civil rights movement ended. So we just need to be realistic about it.
Well,
Yeah, but
on the
they supposed to be
contrary, churches
non-profit, so
actually
they
are.
can't make a profit though. So that they're going to get their tax exempts taken away from if they make a profit. So they're gonna have to do some type of charitable work.
Most churches, most good churches, they are going to be a staple of the community, a pillar of the community. They are going to go out and in service serve the community. The problem is that we don't respect church anymore. That's the biggest issue. Uh, people niggas will hang out in front of the church, sell dope, smoke a cigarette, smoke weed, drink, throw a liquor bottle down. Uh, Niggas will come out of church service and smoke a square in front of the building. There's no respect for the church.
That's true.
So that on its own is a huge problem. There's plenty of churches. I'm not going to say that all churches are effective or that they are doing what they should be doing. Their scripture tells us that there will be and are false prophets. Concrete. The two guys that approach you, them niggas gonna burn in hell. Plain and simple. That's just part of what it is because they know that they can prey on people that are weak, right? They're exposed to it. They see that someone is vulnerable, so they're gonna do what they do, what wolves do in sheep clothing. But I think that the church itself and what it stands for, it should be a staple of the community. It should give back it should bring hope, morality, all of the things that our community, I feel, is actually lacking. But the issue is that no one respects the church anymore.
So let me respond to that real quick. I think you're missing what I'm saying. So I'm not saying that they don't do anything for the community. I'm saying that they do not do anything in a substantial way to move the community forward. They are not doing what churches used to do before civil rights ended. When civil rights ended, that is when churches lost their effectiveness for the community. The churches are where people could go to gather and organize. They cannot do that anymore. You cannot gather and organize, especially politically in the church. And that is exactly what we need right now. No, you cannot. Because if
What do you
you
mean by
if you
that?
promote any type of political change, if you promote any type, like if you discuss any type of like political rhetoric, and it can be proven, you can lose your 501c3 status. That is
That's all the churches been doing. They been siding with the Democrats through the whole election. What are you talking about?
Wait, hold on.
No. You're not getting what y'all are not. Okay.
What about the Target guy?
What do you? We have seen on this past
election,
on the past campaign run, we've seen them actually in churches openly. We saw Kamala go to numerous churches to where they was even praying over.
What I was saying, though.
Right, but that's why I was asking, like, what do you mean by that?
If I could just finish.
You have the floor.
Just because, like that, we still have politicians that will go to churches and speak. You cannot be for a candidate. You can come and let them speak. There are certain you cannot. Okay, so I guess Bo just gonna be lying about everything. You know what? It's okay. Bo don't never know what she's talking about. Look it up for yourself. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool. I don't even need to be on this subject because it's almost as if like what I'm saying is the separation of church and state. You cannot, to keep your 501c3 status, you cannot get politically involved. I have heard this from plenty of pastors. They cannot promote. They can't tell you who to vote for. They cannot get involved like that politically because it is against their 501c3 status. So they can have politicians there to speak. They can encourage you to learn about politics. They cannot take a stance on politics. They cannot take a stance on none of this. So you cannot pick a side. Because if that is reported to the IRS, you lose your 501c3 status. That is how they keep churches out of that.
Well, you're ignoring something
that's cool. I hear what you're saying. You're saying that they can't, but the issue is that they are, and they're openly and publicly doing it. You can literally go and type in on any platform, TikTok,
yes,
Facebook,
they are,
Instagram,
and they do it. And to say they don't is being disingenuous.
So a pastor speaking for himself is not the same thing as the church doing it. It's not the pastor himself, because you can take a side as a person, as an individual, but they do not do that inside of their churches. They're not supposed to do that inside.
They're doing it in the pulpit. That's what I'm telling you.
They are not supposed to. I'm not saying. Listen, if they want to do it, they can do it. They are not supposed to do it. Because I don't know why I can't never talk without being interrupted. I swear to God, I be raising my hand. Y'all made me lose
I think he did let you finish though.
Hold on, y'all.
Right, you're not even letting me finish.
Hold on.
I'm trying to finish my point, and you over talking me, saying that I'm wrong. All that I'm saying is
you finna make me lose my shit, because here's the thing. I was the one that was told to speak, and you interrupted me. I waited until
hold on, y'all.
I was still talking.
Y'all. Hold on.
What is going on?
JR about to settle it.
Born Biz. Okay, let's give Bo a minute and a half, and then Viz, you get a minute and a half to respond back.
Oh, god damn.
That's crazy.
Hey, real quick.
So I literally just acknowledged the fact that yes,
I
that may
understand,
be true.
but I think it might just be the cutting off though. I think some people we just gotta mute, because if you don't mute, then it, they might not be hearing what you're saying. Like the only thing that they are registering is that they're being cut off.
I literally stopped talking while she was talking to allow for her to finish. And then once she stopped talking, I began to make my statement, and where she was, oh, well, if I can't get my point across, while you know what I'm saying, and for you to not talk, I mean, like, where's the balance in that? I again acknowledge the fact that yes, that may be a thing where you're not supposed to do it, but we are openly seeing it happen every Sunday. Every time something happens, we're seeing black pastors get up in the pulpit and openly talking about politics.
And we're also seeing those same pastors losing their 501c status because they are directly violating the Johnson Amendment. And what that says is they cannot specifically endorse, contribute to, or oppose any political figure while serving as a member of or a representative of a church that has said 501c status. So the fact that you're seeing it doesn't mean that it's okay. It just means you're seeing it. They're not supposed to do that. Seeing Joel Osteen or one of the other dudes come out talking about Trump or Kamala Harris is blatantly illegal. It's not supposed to happen. But what happens is a lot of these churches are so big now that they are bigger than their 501c status. So they're not worried about losing it because it's a business. But for these smaller churches that are, you're not seeing them do it because they know better. For example, my church is Friendship West Baptist Church in Dallas, right? Pastor Freddie Haynes. Obviously he's not a Trump supporter. However, in his sermons, he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't say anything bad about him. He doesn't say anything good about anybody else. But you can tell where he is based on what he believes. But he's not going to come out and have Friendship West be like, hey, I'm a anti-Trump church. Because again, you could lose your 501c status. And he needs it because his church isn't that big yet. Joe Osteen has a mega church. TD Jakes has a mega church. What's the other dude who just died? Or not just died, but old white dude just got he popped the reporter in their forehead for asking about his jet. Real old white dude.
Yeah,
Jimmy Swagger.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Him. All of those guys are mega churches. They're not worried about that. So they can come out indoors when they want to. But it is categorically illegal for any political church or church body to support, oppose, or contribute to a political candidate. Like that's one of the when you get a 501c, and like you're not saying you get an NDOC, but when you're learning about it, that's one of the first things they tell you. That's why you won't see churches directly opposing certain political issues. Like you don't see a lot of churches speaking out directly against trannies and all of that weird shit anymore. Like you don't see it because that's things they become so politicized that they don't want to jeopardize their 501c's because now you piss off the wrong senator, the wrong person, and you argue with them and you are giving the appearance of impropriety and bias. That's what's going to happen.
I'm seeing some information right here that says the IRS enforces the Johnson Amendment strictly. The last major revocation of a church tax exempt status for political activity was decades ago. Thousands of churches have openly endorsed candidates under the Pulpit Freedom Sunday movement.
Come on, man.
That's why I feel biz too. I'm like, we see this every day. We see it all the time. Big churches, small churches.
Let me finish. So some churches take the risk assuming the IRS won't act or that the rule will eventually be struck down. They interpret new legal signals as permission. In the mid-2025, the IRS filed a statement suggesting that churches may speak about candidates in connection with religious services without automatically losing tax-exempt status. They gave some pastors the impression that the rule is changing, even though the final policy isn't settled. Some churches leaders are already using this gray area to justify more openly political commentary from the pulpit. So I do believe from what it sounds like that it is against the law, and it may be one of those gray areas, but the IRS have not been pushing it, which is why people are probably doing it. And some people take the risk.
This is why Trump is trying to get rid of religious tax exemptions. Like, this is why. Because that's him getting his lick back from all these black churches saying that he's a racist and the Satan sent him and all that other shit. Like, again, breaking the rules, you're gonna flip
Openly
around and
saying
find
it.
out. Because now you got somebody that's gonna actually enforce the rule because it benefits him. You don't fuck yourself.
Yeah. It says they prioritize influence over exemption. A few churches know they're breaking the rule and don't care. They decide if we lose our 501c3, we'll just operate as a religious organization without the exemption because influence in the community matters more than tax benefits. This is rare, but not unheard of, especially among the political active mega churches or movements trying to shape policy outcomes.
So I'm really glad that you all understood it when Willie said it. And just because I said the shit, it don't mean nothing. I really get tired of saying stuff that's true and don't nobody want to listen to me. And y'all look all crazy upside your head when I say things. But when Willie tells you something, there it is. I just said all of the things. And I was really trying to make a point that churches have lost their power in the community because they do not support the community in a substantial way. I was using the 501c3 status as an example as to why they have lost their power. People do not respect the church because the church does not have the force. It does not carry the force that it used to. It used to be a refuge for us. It used to be a place to gather. It used to be a place where progress was made for our community. And when this whole 501c3 thing happened and the Johnson Amendment and all of that happened, we lost our power in the community. So all of these food drives and coat drives and putting on plays for the community, and you're going to have your little trunk or treat here and there, that don't mean a goddamn thing in the face of what we actually need in the community. That was the point that I was making until y'all thought that I was lying about the 501c3 thing. So maybe one day y'all might listen to me and see it. Maybe you should have looked it up instead of interrupting me. But I was trying to really make a point as to how the church lost its power in the community.
But I don't think that anybody. So we all understood what you were saying. I know, at least for me, and it seemed like everybody understood what you were saying. I think the pushback was that, yes, that may be on the books, but nobody is respecting that, and it's not being enforced. And I think Willie, he did, second what you were saying. But then JR looked up some information that pretty much said, like, yeah, like the law is there, but nobody cares about the law, and they're not following the law. They're still doing it, at a seem like everybody just don't disregards it. I think that was what Viz was saying, is that it's just disregarded.
That's literally all that I said. I said that yes, that very much may be true. But what it is, I guess me acknowledging and saying that what you're saying may be true isn't enough. But me acknowledging the fact that you can literally go on any platform and watch a black, white, whatever pastor in the pulpit talking verbatim on politics. That's the complete contrast of the very argument that you're trying to make. Yes, that may be true, but people are not following that law. They're openly doing it. That's all that I'm saying. I don't know how it came to all of this. So maybe if you listen and all this other shit.
Just being a woman.
Oh, damn. Okay. So I think, in my opinion, I think the church lost their power once they started allowing the gay community to be married in these churches. That's, in my opinion, that's when they lost their power. That's when I think all respect went out the door. When they don't speak about against homosexualism, that all went out the door for me. I can't hear nothing you got to say, man. You know it's an abomination, but yet you still are going to marry these two men or these two women. Yeah, I can't accept that. That choir director of yours is up there with the tambourine, with this blonde hair, dancing around, doing flips and shit down the aisleway. yeah, I ain't with that shit, but yet you allowed it in your church, but yet you won't speak on it because you worry about your bottom dollar. Yeah, that took it from me. They've been talking about politics. They've been talking about politics, church, all the way back to when the Lord was coming through. They talked about politics then. So this is nothing new now. They're gonna continue to do it. They not worried about that. They don't believe that they really gonna take it. They could threaten them all you want. Talk is cheap. Action speaks louder than any words. So until you actually say you're actually done, you're not gonna do it. That's why these politicians keep going to these church. Only time you see a politician in a black church because it's around election time. They know when to go over and poke and get our feelings or get us in our feelings and get us riled up because it's election time. Every 2 years or every 4 years, they gonna come around, sell you some wolf tickets, and you black folks gonna buy it. Shame on
Every
your
time.
ass.
All right, let me get to these couple super chats, man. Ray's Anderson 999, y'all voted for Jose, who was minding his business, to get deported. Everything else is just pocket watching single moms / poor people. It's a year now, and the country still as LGBT as ever conservative. Where? Ray's again, the 499 says, Viz, please. Y'all were fueled by Trump's propaganda, i.e., migrants are criminals. Trump's fake commercial of assassination, Candace Owens, poor genealogy skills. Thank Rez, appreciate that, man. Well, we about that time, man. We'll go ahead and close out. We live tomorrow, the Thursday show. Y'all make sure y'all tune in for the Thursday show tomorrow. Shout out to the sponsor, Anson Belt and Company. That link is pinned to the top of the chat as well as in the description. And also hit the like button. Hit the like button, man. The likes were low throughout the whole broadcast. If you like what you heard tonight, it was entertaining, it was informal, all that good stuff. Hit the like button. That's all you got to do. That's the best way that you can support. See y'all tomorrow.